All right. Good evening, everybody. I am the red-breasted, white-rumped host and game master, Mik Holmes. Tonight I have a flock of players. I have Sean playing Grey Song of Alaneth, sorry.
The enemy shall be gawkish and maladroit.
I have Eric playing Zachris the Strong.
This one is called Zachris.
I have Aaron, who is not with us today, playing Chauncey Hawkinstone. He would probably say something like,
Having a seizure.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
You've made yourself an enemy for life. I have Eric R. playing Nuntium Cranari.
We shall seize our destiny from the gods.
And Rich playing LK Forgnath.
What a fascinating phenomenon.
This is the second episode of Apotheosis, second session, I should say. Our adventurers have been transported to the unknown further planes, split off from the astral sea. With the help of their newly sentient ooze friend Glob and a tool known as a roamer, they must travel the planes and find their way home. Apotheosis is made possible by the donations of a number of artists and creators. Tonight we thank Devin Knight for tokens, George Seryapov for portraits, and music by Will Savino, Alexander Nakarafa, YouFulca, and Aaron Crow. Please check out their sites, linked down in the description below, and this session has also been sponsored by Roll20.net. Last week, they arrived in the befouled craters of Terestos, where they met Glob by literally falling into him. Barely able to breathe, Glob saved them by giving them a roamer's lantern, which helped attune them to the plane around them. They traversed this strange plane, following Glob's sense of an exit, until they met Tsotsoya, a Rakshasan tiefling and fellow explorer. She is leading them to the city plane of Iefra, where they hope to find a clue to return home. Tonight, they must pass through the boundless winds of Kalehrivotra, with Tsotsoya, where she had been previously attacked. We begin with our heroes transporting there now. This would be so much cooler if I had the music ready.
Whoa.
So you guys up here, you guys had just left Terestos. Well, I say left, but really you felt a tug deep in your chest as if your spine was being pulled in all directions at once. You appear on a slightly curved wooden floor that you quickly realize is a massive tree branch from a massive tree in a rainforest full of massive trees as far as you can see. The humidity and heat is strong, quickly leaving your gear damp. Light pours from beyond the treetops in beams of mist, and hundreds of colorful birds sit amongst the trees and branches, singing peacefully around you, seemingly undisturbed by your presence. Glob simply says, "Oh, birds! Neat!"
Have you seen birds before, Glob?
No! I've only heard of them in, your memories.
I think as soon as we would have come out of this transportation method, Cranari would have turned to LK and immediately been giving the kind of scholar eyes, are you thinking about this in a documenting sort of way? Are we recording this in our brains at the same time?
Yeah, LK would probably catch your eyes, and as he sees it, kind of almost realize that he's not, and kind of immediately fumble.
Yeah, they were both kind of fumbling for notebooks and things to document that feeling and the process of it.
For sure.
Mick, was there a sense of time that passed in between planes, and was there any audio, any visual, anything to represent a transition?
It was very, while you were on Terestos, it took about 10 minutes for the thing to finish. It just sort of, as you looked around you, the lantern seemed to radiate sort of a strange glow, and that glow just sort of coalesced into actual vision. At first it looked like an illusion of this plane around you, and then you sort of stomp your feet and realized, no, this is solid, you are here. It took you about, 20 seconds all told.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, there was no issue with it? The wife came in and said that she couldn't hear me on stream.
Oh.
Oh,
I can hear you.
interesting.
You guys, I think you guys are reacting an awful lot like you heard me. Okay, either way,
Yeah.
is Tsotsoya is through with us and kind of
Yes,
present?
Tsotsoya is with you, and she is, like, looking through this mist around you, unpleased somewhat. She's got her weapons out still, and she's like, keep an eye out for any danger. We do not know what is on these plains. It could be very dangerous.
You said she's not there before we came through. Who did you mean?
I do not know her name. She was a creature, a bird person. She was the one who attacked our caravan, and the one to throw me into this plane. Or into Terrestos, I should say.
She opened up her own portal then.
She did. I am concerned, because only the most powerful of creatures are able to do such a feat.
Any evidence that she holds any sort of dominion over this plane?
It is possible. Many of these planes are ruled over in some sense by a creature or what have you. She may be that creature. But we were able to walk around for about, I'd say, 20 minutes before we were attacked. And you're looking around, and the birds are sort of nesting around. They don't seem at all intrigued by you or scared of you. One of them probably, like, flops over or flies over and, like, lands on Zacharus's head and starts, like, preening some of your...
Okay. Yeah, Zacharus is very calm and still, and just he's looking around and feels that this is he's really just entranced by the nature and the beauty, because he's never seen anything like this before.
There's vines everywhere. There is it's basically a rainforest around you, except that the trees are massive. You feel almost small if it wasn't for the birds, who are also small. And you're noticing that some of the, like, twigs that are on branches are the size of regular trees for you guys, which have their own twigs and branches. There's a very strange ledge of a strange scale here. Chauncey, I imagine, would go right to the edge of this branch and sort of look down and be like, I haven't been this high since college. Something like that.
Grenari would be like very not quite present, just very quickly looking around and notating the surrounding areas, but then sort of like in a off tone, just ask, this is quite serene, but are we truly safe here? Should we move to somewhere more known to be safe? It was quite a turmoil getting here.
I do not know anywhere that is safe here. When we arrived here, it was quite a ways up. I suggest we begin climbing.
Zacharus can climb good. And I'll take out my claws and start climbing. I don't know a direction, but I'm just going to start climbing.
Start climbing. Between all the trees, you notice that there's thick sort of cords, almost like suspension bridges made of sticks and vines and sap. It almost appears naturally made, but they look too well placed to be just random. Sorry, Greysong, I think you were going to say something and I interrupted you.
I was just going to say, Greysong would pull out his sketchbook and quickly do a rough sketch, knowing that they don't have much time before they need to start moving, but something he can expand on later.
One of the birds catches your eye. A sort of, let me see. A blue, sort of a dark navy blue feathered bird with feathers that don't seem right to you. Like, you would imagine all the feathers to sort of go in one direction and look like a bird, but this one seems to have feathers going in all sorts of different directions. And it's sort of turning and it's just sort of looking at you. Each of you.
I will sketch it. Sort of a quick charcoal sketch.
Let's see. Trying to see if I can.
I think LK would pop his hat off, and he's going to speak up to Harvey, who's got speech right now in flight, and ask him to get some elevated kind of viewing for us. But I'm going to tell him that in Aron, kind of quite audibly.
Okay. The bird, as Harvey sort of gets out, the bird sort of takes a step back, hearing the Orin. It flies off the branch and towards you, landing in front of you about 8 feet away, and then morphs.
Oh.
She morphs into a seemingly human woman.
Extraordinary. Krenari! And he would kind of wave to him and turn back to stare at her.
She sort of cocks her head back and forth and says, "You speak bird."
I'm familiar with it. I wouldn't say I'm fluent in it, but... And he would...
Zacharias no speak bird.
You
How does Orin
have
sound?
You have a roamer.
Yes, we came by it. It's not functioning entirely correctly, I understand. We're hoping to... where was it? Tsotsoya, you said we were here for... was it... And he would kind of get lost in his thought, trying to think of the city.
Iafra. Tsotsoya has her long swords out, and she is saying, "You are going to harm us, or are you going to harm us?" And this woman says, "No, my name is Diu. I am an aspect of Kaleh."
Yes, I think if they were going to harm us, they certainly wouldn't have shown themselves in this way. I am Nuntim Krenari. It is very nice to meet you, Diu. And I would also, I don't know if I'm in the range of the lantern, but I would also speak Orin to them.
She would smile at this. The lanterns, it does sort of translate all the speech and intentions, but you can still tell what languages they're speaking, and she's pleased to this.
Mick, quick question. Druidic. I would assume that there is, even though you're not supposed to speak it around other people, I would assume that there's probably some sort of introductory phrase that you could utter just to understand whether the other person actually speaks it that isn't a violation of that.
Yeah. There would be, you're allowed to say hello or something in it.
All right. I will step out of the aura of the lantern and say that. And see if she responds.
She does not.
Right. We'll step back in.
You could have just asked her.
I just wanted to know. Without asking her.
She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't really understand as you. Well, welcome, children. Be not afraid. I mean you no harm. I am an aspect of Kaleh. Why, pray tell, have you come to this domain? It is dangerous.
What is Kaleh?
Kaleh is the god of this place.
And you say that you're an aspect of her.
Yes, I am. I rule the stratum below us.
I think the answer to your question is a little complicated, but... we are not from this place, as you could plainly see. We are not even from the place in which we just came from, but are currently trying to find our way back to the material planes in which we originated from. We're a little bit lost.
I do not know what this material plane is, but at the very least I can offer you rest and safety. This place is not safe for you right now. And Tsotsoya sort of scoffs and says, "So you are an aspect of Kale. What's of another woman? Plain white skin, feathers of gray." And this woman, Diu, sort of goes, "You have met Zed. Zed is the predatory aspect of Kale. Kale, as a god, is an incarnation of bird kind. It's difficult to explain." And Glob is just like, "Oh, yeah, because we're not birds."
Well, I would certainly be happy to take the time to understand. I did catch what you were saying, though, in that we may be in some sort of danger. Is there a better place for us to speak?
"Yes, please come to my village. There are a few others like I, that you may wish to speak to, or at the very least could offer you a safe place to rest.
That would be most generous.
The sun will be down soon, so let us make haste. As you have no wings, you will have to walk and climb." And she sort of leads you to, the edge of, not like right to the edge, but, to the edge of the branch, and sort of points off in the distance and says, like, "Take these roads, follow this trail," and sort of points out these trails of bridges through the trees.
Do we see any structures within the trees, or?
No, just birds.
Okay. And are the bridges like man-made bridges, or are they just interlocked limbs?
Like I said, they're just sort of interlocked limbs. They look like they're naturally made, except that they are just a little too perfectly spaced.
Okay.
She sort of bows to you and says, "I will make sure my village is aware to expect you." And she bows and transforms back into a bird.
Okay.
Leaving you guys sort
Okay.
of... You have a...
Walking.
It would appear that ability is not limited to my order.
Tsotsoya is... Perhaps she is of a different power. She may be able to choose her bearing. I have heard of such people. Anyway, we jump into exploration mode, which is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition type, one of the 3 sort of modes of gameplay. The book lists a whole bunch of sort of small activities that you can be doing, such as, of trying to avoid notice, trying to cover your tracks. These are the ones that are in the book, but you're not limited to this. It's just sort of to describe what exactly are you doing as you walk along these sort of... They're narrow passages. Sometimes there's not a good bridge to the next area, and you have to climb down this massive tree. I should mention, climbing these trees is actually fairly easy because the bark itself is so thick and, like, I want to say zoomed in, that you have easy amount of handholds. So yeah, Greysong, what would you like to be doing at this point?
I suppose, having heard that there is a predatory aspect that is roaming about, I will cast Pass Without a Trace.
Oh, yeah. I need to look up what that does.
Oh, I guess I didn't add the description to it.
Pass Without Trace is 2 action to cast, lasts for an hour. You obscure your tracks, make it harder for others to find you. The DC of checks to track you gains a +4 status bonus, or is equal to your spell DC, whichever is higher. I think it actually just works on you, but I will say that if you're covering your tracks with this spell, it'll work for the party.
Like if he takes a position like to the aft, so that he's effectively covering all of our tracks at the same time he's covering his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you make me a survival check, and I'll give you a like a +4 on this.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I think I've got. Let me see. 1 sec here.
Oh, actually, it is your survival DC. So I don't need a check if you're using Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Zachris, what would you like to be?
I see sense direction is one.
Yeah, keeping.
I mean, is it pretty obvious, or is there?
There is a chance for you to get it wrong.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, a good sense direction.
Okay.
This is a secret check, so I will.
Okay.
Roll
And so
it.
that's what I'll do. Yeah, because Zachary will kind of take lead and kind of charge ahead.
Let me just quickly make a secret
He's-
survival
he's-
check.
Somewhat slow with 25 feet, so I mean he's not going to be, fast.
Okay. Yeah, you take ahead. You're very confident that you know
Oh, yeah.
exactly this is where we're supposed to go. You've never
I'm pretty
really
intrigued.
been outside of the menagerie, but
Right.
you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm one with it.
Kranari, how would you like to help?
None of these are particularly in their wheelhouse, but we at the very least could do some amount of searching or even attempting to track. Mostly just trying to be very observant of the area while they, I guess, or even gather information. Would that be applicable here? If I'm just trying to really get a sense for.
Yeah, I'd say a nature check would be the best. Gather information. You wouldn't be able to diplomacy because it's only words. But a nature check or something. Yeah, a 9.
They're not very good at that either.
No, not really. Chauncey would be sort of looking through. There's a large number of mosses and plant life around, and I'm gonna have him make a craft check to sort of determine if he can find anything that is very useful. Chauncey goes through and is like, "Oh, if you put that in the wounds, it stops the bleeding, and it gives it a nice minty aftertaste, eh?" I don't know.
That's
how to do
very
Chauncey's.
interesting. So that would mean that the plant life of this place is in some sense as common as the plant life in our homelands.
Well, I've never seen that one, but that one for sure.
Fascinating.
Tsotsoya sort of whispers, probably to Greysong, like, "Do you trust him to be your doctor?"
The jury is out on that one.
Chauncey is going to find, essentially, I'm going to say 80 gold worth of herbs.
Wow.
It's essentially he can craft using this.
Nice.
I'm going to write this down so I can give it to him. 80 gold. LK, how would you like to help out?
I think on one hand, Harvey will be kind of flying around as he still is right now. He's kind of up there,
Yeah.
kind of flapping above me. So he can kind of do some looking out for us. But I would be interested, LK would be particularly interested in trying to look at the roamer and decipher writing on it. Is that a possibility?
Yeah. Make me another, I would say either Arcana or Occultism.
I think
Unless you
those
have
are
a-
the same for me. So that is what I will do. But I get a bonus to Arcana rolls right from the hat.
Yes.
Correct. So I'll put that in.
The hat kind of shifts slightly, puts a shadow over some unimportant stuff. The runes on this lantern are very old and very arcane. They're sort of chipped off in places. I have a image of it. So they're, chipping off. They're difficult to tell whether or not they are just decorative or actually mean something. And it seems like it's kind of a mixture of the two. They are definitely decorative, but these symbols are not a language so much as like an arcane sigil. You can definitely copy it down onto a card and have that ready for any other time that you might.
Yeah, I will. And what's her
encounter
name mentioned that it looked Tsotsoya said it did look similar or bore resemblances to the ring, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But even with a 20, you've never encountered this.
Yep. I'll make sure to take like a rubbing or an imprint on the card or draw it on the card.
As an aside, I saw you mention the healing. You're fine for right now. I'll say you guys can full heal because you can spend a little bit of time with Chauncey.
Okay. Cool.
Chauncey will.
Time to...
He'll use those herbs to patch you up.
Okay.
So you guys travel for a good 10-15 minutes. You realize that it is incredibly warm. Like it's almost overheating you guys. But being near the lantern is giving you sort of an air conditioning effect. As you you sometimes probably slip out from the 50-foot aura just as LK, struggles with a branch or something. And you realize that away from him, it is extremely hot. As well as almost a slight reduced gravity. Glob will say, I sense some other stuff coming from this lantern. I think it's, neutral aligned. So if you're not neutral, it'll, hurt. And I think you can't use air magic. I don't know if you have any air magic, but, you might not be able to use it.
That is very helpful, Glob. Thank you. I need to take down a note.
Well, I think you can figure that out too if you touch it again. And Tsotsoya is sort of like, oh yes, I forgot to mention that. Yes, you can identify pieces of the planes. It doesn't show up in GridFam, but on Twitch it'll show the description of the plane around you. It is negligible amount of reduced gravity, mildly neutral aligned. It is faintly overheated and very misty. There's 100-foot vision. Unfortunately, the lantern can't do anything about that, but it can stop you having negative effects of the neutral alignment and the overheating. Zachris, you were guiding people,
Yes.
and you realize after a few minutes, you spot a family of lizards. Little small lizards that like geckos that have they have feathers sort of on their arms, on their limbs, looking like they could like leap and glide a little bit. Not birds, but slightly feathered. You find them interesting, I imagine.
Yes.
That is when you realize that I rolled a critical failure on my survival check.
Oops.
You guys hear a croaking. A very angry, vicious croaking as you guys progress. Sorry?
Oh, no, I was just gonna banter. I don't know that I've felt uneasy about frog sounds before, but here we are. Is anyone else feeling this?
Out from the
frogs.
out from the sides of this, out of the, like, underneath the branch, these 4 frogs step up. They open their mouth, and you've never seen a frog with fangs before, but these guys have fangs. They also have small vestigial wings on the back. Tsotsoya goes, "Oh no, they are gull frogs." And I'm going to call for initiative.
Okay.
Make sure you select your token before rolling initiative. You guys can use your perception.
But do I have to?
Ouch.
You do have to for this one.
Probably goes well with me having a critical failure for survival that I was kind of startled.
Yeah. I should use your 7, which was your survival. Am I missing anyone? I gotta do Chauncey and Soya. Give me half a sec. They start croaking and heading towards you with sort of angry-looking, bloodshot eyes. How do I roll initiative on a PC sheet? Like that. And then on an NPC sheet, like that.
Jeez.
And we begin with Tsotsoya getting a friggin' 31. As an action, she takes out her blades. None of you have your weapons out because you've been spending so much time climbing and, holding onto things. So
I always have my weapons out.
she spots a gullfrog behind her, so she's gonna rush over here, 30-foot movement, and make a double slice. She gets to make 2 attacks with against the same target. One with each of their curved blades. She combines the damage. Attacks count towards multiple attack penalty, but penalty only increases after both attacks. Both of them are going to hit this frog, and she's going to do 19 damage to it.
Wow.
The frog is still alive. Greysong.
Yeah, I will stretch forth my gnarled, bark-encrusted hand and cast Ray of Frost at this gull frog.
Okay. So I should describe this guy is on sort of a 5-foot-high ledge of almost a barrier of branches. Canary, I should move you over because this is a bush that's about 2 feet high.
Oh no, it's fine. I could be in that.
The gullfrog leaps to the side away from your Way of Frost.
Okay.
Ray. I gotta use
Way of Frost.
Way of Frost. Third action?
I don't really know that there's much I can do that's of use.
Are we tapped? I recall a lot of combat in the last session while I was watching it.
No, I'll say you guys got a full heal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At some point.
Slots?
Not including spell slots.
Okay.
But,
Okay, that's what I was really asking.
Yeah,
No.
Chauncey can heal you up, and yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that you used all of my spell slot, my first level spell
Oh.
slot.
Possibly. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's totally okay because I'm sure it was very needed for the healing.
It was.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, Greysong.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. Do you have a buckler or a shield?
I do not.
All right.
It just doesn't fit the character.
Everyone can wield a buckler, just as a, not even a buckler, just sort of like a padded arm band.
Maybe a bracer,
Yeah.
of some sort.
The gullfrog, the scaly gullfrog, is going to take a quick leap to this position, and like a terrifying fanged Yoshi, extend its tongue at Kranari. Tongue grab. If a gullfrog hits a creature with its tongue, that creature is grabbed by the gullfrog. Then, as part of the same action, the gullfrog leaps to an adjacent square.
Oh.
Kranari, you are grabbed by this frog, and it is going to use its last attack to bite you. Getting a 16. Does that hit you?
That meets my AC.
Then you take 7 bludgeoning.
Ow.
I described these as having fangs, but I guess I forgot to add that to the case.
Wait, that didn't update correctly. So I had 20 before, so now I should have 13. Okay.
Chauncey is going to use this opportunity to rush behind and make some attacks. He takes his rapier, getting a 14 and missing. Second attack is going to be a 19. That is... he's put deadly. It's not deadly. Sneak attack 3. So, extra 9 damage. The Creek and Gullfrog is going to leap at Tsotsoya. Getting a hit. What? Oh, I didn't roll the damage. 8 damage. Second attack, this will be at -4. She dodges that. And third attack is going to be a tongue attack at -8. That's also going to miss. So Tsotsoya just takes 8 damage. The Plumed Gullfrog is going to do the same thing that the Scaly one did to Kanari at Greysong. Tongue Lash. 10 misses. It'll try again at -4, and then just leap directly next to you. Kranari.
I think Kranari is going to attempt to cast Daze on... let's cast it on the one that hasn't gone yet.
Okay.
The Riveting Bullfrog.
So spellcasting has a manipulate trait, so you have to succeed at a DC 5 flat check, because you're grabbed. So if you just roll a D20 and get over 5.
No.
No!
Why would why would I do that?
Dang.
That's something that people who are good at this game do.
I'm sorry, you try and dazed, but the frog just lashes you about with its tongue, trying to numb you.
Can I try another action? Does that take my entire turn?
No, it takes both of the actions for the spell, though.
Okay, then I'm gonna just try using shield. So do I roll again?
No, that one's just verbal.
Okay.
So no manipulate. Actually, does verbal have manipulate? I don't know. I would highly doubt it.
I don't think so. I'm almost positive not.
And since this actually counts as raising the shield as well, so +1 AC going
Okay.
forward.
The verbal is just concentrate. So the Riveting Gullfrog, LK, you have barely even noticed combat has started, but it is going to tongue lash you. 21, I assume, succeeds.
That is.
It pulls itself next to you and makes a bite attack. 15?
15 does not hit.
Alright, second attack at -4. These guys are not getting good hits on you. That's lucky.
Good.
Zachris.
Okay. I'll assist LK since he seems to be kind of the lone one on that Gullfrog. So I will move. Shoot. I got it. Hold on.
I forgot that Chauncey had flanking. That wouldn't have changed anything.
There we go. That was weird. Okay. So yeah, I'll move here and I will. Actually, so I'll do that. Then I'm going to use my feat hunt prey to focus in on this Gullfrog, the riveting one.
Okay.
And then I will attack with my Gladius.
Alright. 14 is not enough.
Okay.
Does Hunt Prey do any additional things?
Well, not yet. So it does give me +2 bonus for perception checks and then survival checks for tracking.
Right.
But next turn, I can use Hunter's Edge Flurry. And so multiple attacks actually are better.
Right.
It's, -3 as opposed to -5 for the first, and -6 as opposed to -10. So actually, no, this is an agile weapon, so it's actually -2 and then
Yeah.
-4.
You get a lot of attacks on this.
Yeah.
LK, you are grabbed.
That is unfortunate. I will use a guidance.
Yes. Guidance is just verbal.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So okay, that's clear on the manipulate, and then
Who do you cast it on? Yourself?
carry on myself, yes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to somatic. So I'd have to roll. What do I have to roll if I use something with somatic?
DC 5, just a flat check.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Produce Flame.
All right.
Really, no, I gotta get this fixed so that I can roll off the damage.
Oh, the attack, yeah. Don't forget the flat DC 5 check.
That's just a D20.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you just have to be better at rolling dice than I am, which is not. It's not a high DC there.
Perfect. So produce flame. Make me a spell attack with There we
20,
go.
20, yeah.
19 hits, 6
Nice.
fire, burns alongside this.
Very nice.
Doesn't, and it takes persistent fire damage.
Yeah.
Make a spell attack. Oh, no, on a critical success it
On crit.
deals.
Oh, okay, so it didn't crit.
That was all of your actions. Tsotsoya takes her blades and tries to finish off this guy. Curve strike, first attack misses, second attack hits. 9 piercing, slicing through it. Then uses... Let me just double check that was 2 actions. Yes, obviously. Then is going to run up next to this plumed gray frog, gull frog, to give Grace on flanking.
Okay. Unfortunately, can I use Ray of Frost and avoid hitting her flanking like that?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, then I will cast Ray of Frost. Man,
No luck.
jeez. All right, that's it for my actions.
The scaly gull frog is going to leap beside Kranari here and make a bite attack. Actually, it's going to leap here and also get flanking. They have at least a tiny bit of tactics. Does 15 hit you?
No.
Alright. 12 definitely doesn't. Everyone's just kind of flailing around.
Yeah, I just want to point out for the audience at home that was 2 3s that I've rolled in a row.
Oh,
Chauncey runs up and gets a hit. 11 piercing damage. Second attack is gonna be a miss. The creaking bullfrog is dead. The plumed bullfrog is unpleased with how this is going. It's going to leap up here, make a tongue attack on Greysong. 22.
That will hit.
As that action pulls himself into you and makes a bite attack. 7 bludgeoning damage.
okay. 25. Jeez.
You are grabbed. Kranari.
Gonna try the same thing again, so let me just do that. Hey, alright.
Alright.
So, I'm gonna use Daze. Oh, that also didn't roll the damage, or the attack.
Attack.
Um,
No, it's a basic will save.
right, okay.
So which one are you targeting?
I'm gonna target the Scaly Gull Frog.
Yeah. So it gets a 13. What's your DC?
DC is 18. Now, being it basic, does that make it different?
So a basic just means on a save it does half damage.
Okay.
And crit failure does double damage.
Okay. So then this is going to do my spell attack,
4 mental
spellcasting
damage.
mobility modifier. Yep. So 4 mental damage.
That takes it out.
Yeah.
You daze it to death.
Just make its little mind explode.
So you're no longer grabbed. You can shrug off the tongue, and yeah.
I will cast shield again, and
Okay.
just hold my position.
This guy is on top of LK and is going to continue trying to bite you. First one misses. Second one at -4 is 16. Does that hit?
Matches, yes.
So 6 bludgeoning damage on that.
Ow.
And then leaps to this square and sort of hides in the brush. Zachris.
Okay. Let's see. So is he truly hidden, or is he just
No.
That's kind of okay?
Yeah, you know where he's at. You can see him. He's just
So I will move here and then make 2 attacks. So I'll do first attack. Oh, using the hold on, using
flurry.
my flurry. Yeah, Hunter's Edge flurry. Okay. So first attack.
Yeah, your blade pierces into his flesh. 6 piercing damage.
Okay. And then second attack, I'm adding the -2. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you notice that the red sword that you're holding, it's not showing the blood. It seems like the redness of the sword hides blood somehow by
Interesting.
being red.
Maybe it absorbs it.
LK,
Am I still grabbed?
you are, yes.
Okay. I am going to shield myself,
Okay.
and then I'm going to produce flame again, I guess, and hit the riveting.
So make me a DC 5 first. Flat check. Perfect. Attack 26 is
Nice.
going to crit.
Nice. Good.
On a critical success, double damage and persistent fire damage. The double damage takes it out.
Cool.
It's you probably spend like a bonus action putting out the flames of the bush that you just caught on fire. But it absolutely lets go of you and sizzles, creating a strangely delicious smell. Tsotsoya doesn't trust this wooden beam down here, so we'll just rush up and make some non-flanking attacks. Getting a crit, so 22
Nice.
damage, and then even with a minus whatever that is going to hit,
Very nice.
takes out the school frog. As you look around with watchful eyes for any other strange things, you notice a few other frogs off in the distance, watching you from another branch. They, as you spot them, sort of their eyes go wide and they hop in the opposite direction.
Okay. I was about to say I was going to do some performance and scare him off.
Yeah, luckily you guys saved the day.
Let's hope that's the worst we'll have to worry about. Pat himself off.
Zachris Nightlight, these frogs. No good.
I will begin sketching those as well.
What they looked like before they were
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, does roast bullfrog smell good?
Yeah, it's like a mixture of chicken and
Frog legs are good.
frog legs.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can eat frog. I can't eat, lizard, but I can eat frog.
Yeah, there's a difference between
Reptile.
What do I wanna call it?
amphibian.
Yeah.
Amphibians and reptiles.
I was trying to remember the word amphibian. I was thinking Asmodeus. That's not the right.
Yeah.
Well, there is a difference between Asmodeus and reptiles.
Yes.
I mean, that's fair.
It's, faint,
Not
but
much
it's
of a
there.
stretch.
It's an accurate description.
So, after you realize that Zachary was following the wrong trail, you guys can easily catch back up and eventually pull yourself to a village. Off in the distance, you hear a whole bunch of birds singing, but on top of that, you hear a pan flute playing a chipper song. You pull yourselves up to a plateau area. A few dozen dome nests made from dyed twigs, vines, and colorful flowers, arranged in various patterns. The nests are surrounded by twig pathways weaving in and around the branches. Other avian creatures live here, swooping from nest to nest, some watching you timidly while others pointedly ignore you. A few children play tag, while a man with black feathers plays a melodious song on panpipes surrounded by captivated sparrows and robins. A few of the other avians are working at constructing a new nest. Dew walks towards you and gives you another pleasant bow. And I'm glad to see you are safe, but you are harmed. You have gotten to fight?
There were a few interesting local creatures that thought that we were easy prey. Some kind of flying frog.
The ghoul frogs. Yes, they are vicious creatures.
Zachary took a wrong branch.
I should have given you better instructions. I am sorry. Would you like to rest?
That would be great if you have someplace we could speak.
Yes, of course. Please come to my nest. And she leads you to this. Oh man, why can't I remember the name of this bird? There's a type of bird that makes those sort of like circular, almost spherical nests.
Oh yeah.
Birds.
Yeah. So you get to this, weaver bird's nest that has all these different patterns woven in of flowers and dyed twigs. Inside is sort of shady, but it's lit from fluorescent moss on the ceiling, and there's a few beams of light in between the twigs on the walls. The whole nest is probably about 20 feet diameter, and has a small ledge, or actually a number of small ledges around the edge. The bottom one looks like it's the perfect sort of couch sitting height, but all the above ones look like single beams for birds to sit on, which they are. Most everything looks natural in here, but you notice hanging from a sapling branch on the wall is a pair of leather-bound glasses and a small crystal orb hanging in a woven string basket. Those are the only things that are not natural. She leads you to a one of the benches in the back and brings out a tray that she has prepared of fruits and a few insect and lizard-based meats. And says,
No lizard for me.
please, eat. It is, we have some of the best fruits that you will ever get from the plains. I apologize if the townsfolk have been rude. The adults keep away, and, well, you are carrying metal. Metal is anathema to Kale. I ask you to please keep your weapons hidden.
I carry none myself, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Zachary can do.
I sense you have an animistic soul, Grey Song. Oh, you haven't told her your name. My elven friend, she says.
I suppose we haven't been introduced. My name is Grey Song.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Grey Song. And the rest of you? Do you have names?
This one is called Zachary.
Oh, I'm Tsotsoya!
We've
can't-
already been introduced, so
Right.
Okay.
you-
and I didn't know if LK had.
Yeah, LK would probably have taken the cue on the metal, tucked kind of his ring into his shirt, and said, "Of course, it's perfectly understandable for an outside culture not to be recognized." And he would walk over, and it's much more fascinating to take part in other people's culture. And he would start picking through the food that's like on the thing and start kind of eating it. He might even jump up on like one of the bird logs and kind of be at home.
Yeah, Greysong's not gonna hesitate at all. He will start eating.
Yeah, it seems all of the everything is raw. They haven't cooked anything, but
Fine.
I want to call it like lizard sashimi. Like it's
still
well
prepared in some way.
Yeah, and she has a citrusy cider.
Greysong will dig into the meat with gusto.
She seems pleased and says, "So you wish to travel to another plane? There are a number of different planar portals around here." And Tsotsoya says, "There is one in particular. It is in the place that the woman you called Zed." And Tsotsoya describes the sort of general area, and as she's doing that, Diu's face sort of darkens. And then we have a problem. Zed is, as I said, the predator of the three aspects of Kale. She is very territorial and will not allow you to go into her stratum uncontested.
You said there were three aspects. Do you mind telling me of the other two?
Well, Zed is the second. As I said, animalistic and predatory. I am the aspect of, well, for a better word, motherhood. And what is her name? Give me a sec. And finally, Topek. Topek is the aspect of wisdom. It is her who we should be thinking of. For when two of us aspects have a issue, it is the third who intervenes. Topek is often the one who mediates between me and Zed. We should, in the morning, head to Topek's domain and gather her assistance to allow you safe passage. I fear if we do not, Zed will try and harm you, and while you are quite strong, I wish not to see my sister harmed.
We will do whatever we can to keep the peace between even the civilizations that be here. We're travelers, but we certainly do not mean to disturb the peace. Are there any other ways in which we could show ourselves as non-combatants to the local groups, beyond just keeping our metals hidden?
We, as a rule, do not allow outsiders like yourselves to intrude on our planes. So there is not really any precedent set here. Other than, no, there is not.
Have you had experience with people in the past then? And were those people less diplomatic, shall we say?
She blushes a little bit, which is a strange sight because her forehead feathers kind of twitch and stand up on end. And she goes, "Yes, there once was a explorer. His name was Nashkuru. But he did not stay here for long. Zed got to him, and he was slain. She is very territorial of our plane."
Based on her reaction, it seems obvious, but is there any more that I could glean from that and their relationship?
Make me a perception check.
Could I use diplomacy in that way, or is this straight perception?
Diplomacy, if you want to ask her specifically, but perception is like 5e's insight.
I guess then Kronari would. I do not mean to intrude, but as we are also looking for a way to leave this place, do you know? Could you provide any more context on Nashkru and the way they came here, what they did when they were here, in any way? I mean no disrespect in this question.
Yeah, I'd ask for another diplomacy check. I'll give you +2 on it, but I'm not giving you the +1 for monstrous thing. She is kind of the main race of this plane. Monstrous
Don't
diplomacy.
be mean to me. Where did my check go? There we go.
18 is not bad. You notice that she actually keeps looking at Zacharias as she's talking. She says, yes, Nashkuru was here. He was trying to map the plains. At this, Tsotsoya sort of looks up and says, Did he ever say a faction? And she shakes her head and says, something of an inquiration at some point, but he left that faction long ago. He was here and lived here. We grew close. He would find the most amazing fruits, things I never knew grew in these woods. But one day, the villagers here told me they found Nashkaru. He had fallen from the treetops and perished. He was a lizard folk like you. But
Zacharias kind of looks.
his heritage was that of a cliff scale folk. He could not have just fallen. Zed was always furious that I protected him from Kale. I believe it was her who killed Nashkaru. As for where he came from, I do not remember the name. We did not speak of such matters. He was planning to live here.
Zacharias like this plane. Very nice here.
These, and she sort of points to the goggles and the orb and said, these were his. If you're planning on leaving, perhaps, well, if there's any chance you find his family, if you could return them.
Zacharias will do this.
She'll bring down these goggles, which, as she brings them over, you notice they have green lenses and are very magical. They sort of have lenses of forest grain glass bound in rough leather and stitched with crude twine. You could have used these about, 20 minutes ago. They are tracker's goggles.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, it's direction and track. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
And to you, Kronari, she brings over the glass ornament. It's what at first you thought was string hangings is actually a silver chain. And she hands it to you, saying, describing what it is, which is a aura reading bauble. A fairly simple invested ornament that allows you to cast Read Aura.
Okay.
Cool.
Kronari would accept this with like at least some semblance of a bow, like kind of holding their hands up because they know that this is a person that was very special to them that had these before. I am sorry for your loss, and we will do everything we can to bring these items back to the people who may put them to rest if even possible.
I do not remember his family name. All I know is he was a cliff scale lizard folk with red scales on his breast. Perhaps you find his family, perhaps not. Either way, it would be best for you to take these.
Zacharias will do this. Yes.
I thank you.
You mentioned that Nishkaru was a cartographer of sorts. Producing maps of the plains is certainly a noble task. And you said you knew him. Is there any chance any of his research or maps remain?
Alas, no. When he died, his body had been torn to shreds. All of his maps were lost to the wind.
Tragic.
But it is not important for these times. Kali brings and Kali takes. I should go speak to Tapek. You may need to speak to her tomorrow yourselves, but I will warn her that you will be coming. You may rest here for the night. Please feel free to explore the village.
Basically, the whole time that she's been talking, Greysong would be quietly kind of in a corner with his sketchbook, not just sketching her, but sort of in the background, almost as if it's like part of her own imagination behind her as a backdrop, kind of what she described, drawing that as well.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to make me, I guess, a crafting check? What would an art check be?
I don't think there is.
Performance,
I've got crafting as my...
Yeah, are you trained in
what I
crafting?
thought was, yes.
Okay. Yeah, make me a crafting check. So, a 17, are you showing anybody your art, or are you just sort of...
No, I'm not hiding it, but I'm not showing anybody.
Okay. You do notice that the feathers on the top of her head sort of shift a little in your drawing to look a little bit more like horns, and her eyes have a distinct feline look.
Greysong, as he's sketching, will pause and kind of scowl at the paper for a moment, and then his face kind of takes on a more serene look, and he goes back to sketching, and probably promptly turns a page and starts sketching his patron, and not even realizing he's doing it.
Yeah.
Good.
So, you guys looking outside, you notice the sun is sort of, well, it's not going down so much as it's dimming. You look at the sort of like light rays through the trees, and they aren't changing angle, they're just sort of getting dimmer. You're noticing as you're looking up, you actually can't see the sky through the mist, and you look down, you can't see the ground. It seems possible that this is infinite trees.
Wow. I think because of the situation, and I think this would probably be something that Krenari would do to ingratiate themselves into any culture that was very hesitant to see outsiders, they would probably kind of wander through the village a little bit to find maybe what looked like a most common space or some kind of, the most non-threatening space they could find, and then just put themselves there and not talk to anyone, but just look as if they are taking on an appearance of being open to conversation if anyone would like to talk to them.
Yeah, the whole area is kind of one communal branch that is surrounded by nests. It's sort of like a single town square with houses around it, and that's the whole thing. In the center is the minstrel, who is playing pan flute, and probably turns to you as you maybe sit down in front of him as he's leaning against the branch.
Your song is beautiful. Do you mind if I sit here and listen?
Of course. My name is Ika.
Ika, it is very, very great to meet you. My name is Krenari.
Do you play music?
I do, in fact. Let me verify, but I think I actually have a pan flute. Is the instrument that I carry with me? Yeah.
Pan flute.
So, yeah. So I would not say the most skilled player, but I do enjoy the sounds, and I find that it helps. Music is a great communicator of peace.
And that's when we find out Kernari is the Yngwie Malmsteen of pan flute players.
Do you want to make me a performance check? Just to
Sure.
see if you can impress him.
Before I do this, so I think what I was kind of alluding to in my previous action is making an impression.
Right, because you've got the skill feats.
A group impression. So if there are multiple people around, I would just simply try to be giving the impression that I am someone who is not threatening to them.
Yeah, I'll have you make me a diplomacy check for that, as the action of group impression.
Yeah, and then so here I'll just post the feat. Really, all the feat does is it allows me to make an impression on more than one person at a time.
Right. Increases. You're not an expert yet, but I'll say all of the kids count as one. 15. So not
Okay.
great. He is, still. He's actually quite impressed that you have pan flutes like him. Would your flutes be made of metal though?
Probably not.
Like a reed?
Would probably be more reed, more wood.
Yeah.
Something that, even though metal kind of lasts longer, it would be prone to rust.
Yeah.
So the wood would probably be more of their preference. Also, again, thinking about where they would go, it would probably be that. Like every part of them is thinking about how they're going to look to other people.
Right. So with a 15, you're not doing terribly in trying to look undangerous. You probably maybe turn your head too fast once and startle a parent who takes her child and moves away.
I mean, they still look very odd compared to other people there. So
a couple children come up and they're looking at your gold teeth, and they're just sort of like, that. What is that?
it is a part of my station as an emissary of my people. This just denotes one more method in showing that we, as mortals, do not have to be beholden by our weapons.
That's cool. It looks like sunlight coming from your face.
Well, thank you.
And Glob is like, damn, those kids, they're cuter than me.
Yeah, if Glob was with me, I'm sure that would also be very weird.
Glob is with LK, so I guess I should ask, where is LK?
So how far away did Kernari go exactly?
Only the whole village is only 300 feet.
And they wouldn't be like, no one follow me, no one's allowed to come with me, I'm doing this thing. Anybody is welcome to come with them.
So LK would have probably gone down so Glob probably is indeed there.
Okay.
LK is probably, frankly, walking around and observing and just kind of watching kind of the crowd. Maybe he's juggling cards and kind of performing some slight little magic tricks for kids as the kind of pan flutes create that ambiance in the background. And he might be keeping a particular eye on Chauncey. If Chauncey was trying to do anything underhanded, he might choose an opportunity to use his cards to create a diversion if Chauncey was looking for trouble.
I would say Chauncey would be interested in card trickery. I think that's a fairly safe assessment.
He's probably showing just as much enthusiasm as the children, if not more.
Your downtime activity is babysitting Chauncey.
Absolutely.
So Greysong and Zachris, you guys see this. If LK is in the center of town, you can probably assume the radius of the lantern is engulfing the whole village. There's only 30 people here at most. So there is some people making a new nest. They're sort of weaving things together, and they're taking fairly hefty logs and building this sort of almost a log cabin.
Oh, I would help with that. Then.
Yeah, I'll go over and assist them.
Yeah, it would definitely help lift the logs, and he could probably lift 3 or 4 for him.
Yeah, these are sort of the larger bird people, and they take a kindly to you, Zachris. They take kindly to you, Zachris, right away, as they see you as sort of a cousin, a kin, as you know,
Huh?
previous ancestors. I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
But Greysong, they notice your facial growth, and they are sort of hesitant, and they say, "You have plant in skin. It is strange."
It is complicated.
Be you plant or beast? Plant or beast?
I am elf.
Well, elf, do not infect this land with your growth.
It is not contagious. That I can assure you.
They're willing to, if you're willing to help them, they're willing to let you, but they are still kind of hesitant.
Yeah, Greysong is not trying to be particularly friendly. He's helping, but he's not trying to socialize. He's not, he has his usual sort of grim is not the right word, but just kind of stoic.
Yeah, a little
demeanor
surly-ish.
about him. Yeah, he's not rude. He's not, being unpleasant. He's just not really volunteering to talk to anybody unless they talk to him.
That makes sense. So, Nuntium, Kranari, you're playing pan flutes. Can you go ahead and make me a
Oh yeah.
that performance?
Be nice to me, dice.
Mhm.
18 is pretty good. You are, keeping up with him. He's getting about like a 20, just to get an idea of how well he's playing. And after you play a song, which all of you guys hear, he puts a big grin afterwards. He looks at you, looks at your pan flutes, and goes, "You need more practice. Take this." And you hold these pan flutes in your hands, and you feel more magical energy coming from them.
Oh my! I would hate to keep you from having. I mean, you don't
It is
need
no
this.
problem. It is blessing of Kale.
Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. The people here are just so nice. It is refreshing, as I'm often having to convince people that I'm not a threat to them.
You are a threat to us. Kale does not like outsiders, but Kale does not hate. We are just wary.
And that is a reasonable course of action. I will do whatever I can to respect yours and Kale's wishes in this matter.
I think you're interrupted a little bit by a bit of a scream behind you as that parent who shuffled the child away sees what Elke's doing and is like, "Foul witchcraft!" and pulls all of the children away.
Elke would probably try to rationally explain to them, so he'd be like, no, it's a little sleight of the hand, it's a trick, you see?
No!
And he would almost, as he's getting more uncomfortable with the witchcraft aspect of it, be putting it in his face and be like, no, there's all sorts of things. It's harmless magic, you see. There's actually a relationship between, and there's poofs of smoke and light coming out of his hands.
It's like, this is fire! This is bad! We hate
He hates it. It's my pleasure.
The kids, however, are incredibly impressed with this, and they go into as you're doing this, they're sort of running around trying to get other get away from their parents, and you find yourself sort of given all of these gifts by the kids. Like, they're little twigs wrapped in a way to look like a origami bird, and like a shiny leaf. But in particular, you see 2 pins. They're strange because they're made of brass, which is said to be, anathema here. And it's in the shape of a monkey climbing a tree. These 2 pins. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so LK would probably thank you, and he would kind of take them and kind of play with them. He might put like a magical sigil up in the air that says like peace or friends or something.
The mother's just, it says witch! It says witch!
And yeah, he would just kind of keep shooting kind of cards off in the distance for kids to catch and play with and annoy their parents. And I assume Chauncey's included in that group of kids.
I would.
So like,
Chauncey is probably showing his swords off to any kids who ask. Much to the chagrin of all of the adults. But yeah, you guys, make at least a comfortable peace with these people. As the sun sort of goes down, the parents get the kids away, and the panpiper sort of bows to you, Krenari, and says, enjoy a gift of Kale. Would make your tunes a little more on key.
thank you. I appreciate that. Was there a handout for that?
You have to identify it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you want to make me, you can definitely feel that this is a primal magic. If you want to make me a nature check.
I'm awful at those, but I will try.
Or handing it
Hey!
to LK.
17?
17
You
is
also know Gray Song that's his arena.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this place.
this is a what is known as a maestro's instrument.
Oh.
Essentially, it's +1 item bonus to performance checks, but more importantly, it's once per day lets you cast charm.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
LK will also investigate those earrings if we're taking the 10 minutes to go and sit down and do that.
Yeah, the little brass pins. Those you can sense are occult. They have this strange
Okay.
occult nature to them.
Did they come off as magical? Can I do an identify magic on them
Yeah, for sure.
using occult?
Yeah. 17 is good enough for this one. These brass monkey pins, while you wear them, if you're trained in athletics and succeed on a climb check, you get to move your full speed.
Oh, wow.
They are talismans, so they are one-time use. I imagine they fall off after using them.
So LK would probably figure that out, and he would walk over and pin them to, or give one to Zachary probably, and one to Graysong. Do you have athletics?
I'm not proficient in athletics.
Is Chauncey?
Give me 1 sec.
Zachary will thank you.
Chauncey is... No. Chauncey is -1 in athletics.
Oh,
Are we all bad at this except for
Fair enough. We'll give it
Except for me.
both of them to Zachary, and suggest that he'll look dashing with both of these on.
What has Tsotsoya been doing this whole time?
Tsotsoya has been staying in Diu's home. She's not comfortable going out, and you can tell on her face that she's not entirely comfortable with the bird folk. But yeah, she's just, sharpening her own weapons. Sorry.
So the only other thing that I think Krenari would have been attempting to accomplish while speaking with everyone in the village is trying to get more information about Kale, like as a deity, what, like, maybe some of their history, maybe, I mean, if they got handouts, please give me the handouts. Like,
I need
the
a
pamphlets. Like, yeah, like, give me the literature. Like, they're gonna try to find the, like, clearly the most, like, you know,
religious.
pious looking person, and then attempt to you know, ask for more information.
Okay. Make me another diplomacy check as you gather information.
Sure.
There's a limited number of people here. 18.
Seems like this is like the range I'm going to be in today, but I'm totally okay with that.
It's not bad. 18 is enough that you know, a few people are tight-lipped, tight-beaked, but they sort of paint this picture for you. Kale is not just like a hypothetical deity. Kale is a massive bird that lives here. Like, these massive trees are sized for this bird. You're thinking like a rock.
Like a rock? Yeah. That's
but-
kind of the impression that I got before, and I was like, are they worshipping a rock, or is this something that is truly, like, intelligent?
It doesn't seem like it's intelligent. It doesn't seem like it's intelligent in human terms, but all these people are very connected with the animal people, and so they treat it as if it was, you know, a mother to them. It watches over them. It's you know, it does allow them to suffer, but that's because it's a bird, and that is in its nature.
Do I get the impression that it actually acts on their behalf, like it will protect them in circumstances of, you know, dire circumstances?
Yeah, if you were to, you know, try and, you know, erase this thing, they would definitely, Kale would attack. But Kale often just goes off and does what they want. It's a rare occurrence to actually see it.
Okay.
It seems like Kale's purpose is to sort of create a haven for other birds and other tree folk to live, and thus is sort of territorial, much like how Zed is. But there is that sort of motherness in that that you've seen from Dew, and they speak of it both as an animal, but as like an incredibly wise animal.
Okay. Yeah, and I Krenari would definitely not like frame it in a disrespectful way. Just more questioning in the like, how and when did they act, and is it more of like a force of nature, which is kind of the impression that I'm getting, that they're more of just like, yeah, there's something to be very respected, and this is clearly their territory.
Yeah.
But not generally like, you know, tied to them directly. Just more of like they exist around it. It doesn't exist with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
How did you become an aspect of this Kale?
When Dew comes back,
Yeah.
she sort of looks down and says, "I have always been."
You have always been. How old are you?
Many days. We have no seasons, like Nashkaru tells me. He said things in years and months, but I do not know what these things are. I am not alive forever. I will die, and one day another will appear.
Do you or any of the other aspects to communicate directly with Kale? I was speaking with some other people in the town to get a sense of their ability and, you know, the way that you interact with them, but it seems that you have a more personal connection.
Yes, when the three of us meet, Kale will arrive. Thus we tend to stay away so Kale can live freely. As for
That's very
direct
interesting.
communication, we cannot communicate well, not how you and I are communicating. We communicate as birds. But at this point, it's dark. There is just sort of that phosphorant fungus that's lighting things, and it's quite dim. You can tell that she is quite tired. She says, I do not have beds. I do have soft things for you to nest, if you would like to rest here. I spoke with Tapek. She would like to speak to you, and hear your arguments.
Thank you for acting on our behalf.
It is no issue of mine. It is no problem. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of what she says, and I'm just like,
No, I mean, I would imagine that there's probably some awkwardness because they're not, generally used to dealing with outsiders. So it's like, it's not that they're particularly comfortable with doing this, but they need to. So
yeah, they know that you're not a threat, but it's still weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you guys want to do any last minute things before going to bed?
I don't.
So I'll start over. Thank you for returning to Apotheosis, even though we forget all the time to turn audio back on. It's totally my fault. You guys are resting. She turns back into a bird to rest. All of the townsfolk go back into their nests and sleep. And you guys are given a, comfortable place to rest on the, leaves and foliage and other, soft mosses. As you guys sleep, however, at about 3 a.m, a little blue bird, like fist-sized of a bird, goes over to LK's head and pecks at you awake.
I'm up.
As you look up to where Diu was sleeping, she's gone, though the rest of you are all still asleep, not including Tsotsoya, who seems to have enough perception to have noticed this commotion and woken up. The commotion I'm speaking of is actually outside the nest. It is too far from the lantern to make out anything but angered chirp shouts, but you hear Diu's voice arguing with someone. Actually, LK, you speak Orin.
I do speak Orin.
I also speak Orin if I woken up from the sound.
Only LK has. It seems like a whispered argument outside, and you hear essentially a woman saying, "They are vermin eating away at Kale's flesh. They must be put to death. You and Tapek will not stop this." And said, Diu is like, "No, we will protect them. They have done nothing. They have done no wrong. Kale will not harm innocents." And she is like, "Innocent? I have already saved the orange-skinned one. You didn't save her. You threw her to another plane. I saved her from myself." And Tsotsoya sort of peering out the entrance of this doorway and whispers to you, LK, and says, "That is Zed."
So LK probably would. Yeah, his first reaction would probably be to kind of go shh to Tsotsoya, and kind of indicate that I can kind of hear them and point at them. And then he would probably wake at least Greysong up first. I think he looks to Greysong for the most kind of practical authority. And he would kind of carefully shake him awake, and we seem to have some conversation going on outside the nest. And I would fill him in kind of briefly and whisper in what was being said, the gist of it.
Interesting. I will go and observe.
And I think LK would probably wake everybody else up after that.
Okay. I'm gonna say you don't wake up Chauncey because Chauncey would just do something. And I don't want to have to figure out how to roleplay that because I don't really know how Chauncey would act.
First you gag him, and then bound his hands, and then wake him up. You stay right here.
I worry that Chauncey would take that in a different connotation. After a few seconds of this whispering, Zeed actually shifts back into a bird and flies off in fury. Dew turns and sort of notices you guys watching her, and she's. I'm sorry. I hope I did not wake you.
Not at all. We are deeply sorry that we continue to cause you trouble here.
Did you hear the conversation?
Grenari will look at LK.
I would say, no, you were considerably far away from us. We couldn't quite hear what you were saying. Is there some kind of problem?
Yes, there is a problem. Zeed is too angry to see logic right now. No doubt Zeed will try and stop you from leaving. You must speak with Topek, because if you can convince Topek to help us, then, well, we can deal with her.
Is there a way that we could entreat Zeed on neutral ground where we could be assured that she would not attack us? Perhaps I can appeal to and dissuade her of the notion that there are disagreeable philosophies in this group.
I feel she might be too far gone for that, but she will be at Topek's tomorrow. You will have to convince Topek against Zeed.
It doesn't seem like we have much of an option. We're going to have to see this topic. How do we get there?
Tomorrow I will lead you there myself.
But kind of look around at everybody.
You will need your wits about you. Please rest. I will stand guard.
Zach will circle back to sleep.
Just out of curiosity, Mick, do I sense any sort of, and I can use detect magic, do I sense like an aura about these aspects, particularly this one?
Yeah, I'd say for sure. You ping. Detect magic is a lot weaker in Pathfinder, so it just sort of pings that there is magic.
Yeah.
But yeah, the aspects are definitely more magical than the average townsfolk.
But not, like, how would I compare it with, for instance, my patron?
I mean, it only really gives you the presence of magic.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
It is.
Is there something that I could begin to learn that would allow me to have those kind of senses about?
Yeah, maybe start me making a nature check for primal magic.
That I can do. Nature.
Okay. So you feel that they are definitely a different brand of powerful. Your patron would definitely is definitely a much more much stronger magically. You get sort of a sense of a light bulb versus a spotlight.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly the question, so I don't know exactly how to answer it.
I'm just trying, relatively, Greysong's own mind, he's like almost predator sense trying to figure out how big a threat these aspects are. Not necessarily her, but Zeed.
If you were to fight Zeed, you think she would win. These are definitely extremely powerful creatures. When they say, when Dew is sort of like, you need Topek to help us, she means it.
Okay.
So, do you guys head back to bed? Head back to sleep? Nothing else really happens throughout the night. As the sun comes up, you guys are woken by birdsong, unsurprisingly. Probably a little bit too early. You're still, a little bleary-eyed, but enough that your spellcasters can get your spells back. One thing that Greysong that you notice, you probably sleep on your side that's not on your growth. But throughout the night, you sort of rolled over, and as you lift your head, you feel a tug, almost, and something breaking as you come off, and you notice that your growth has kind of left a residue on the leaf that you were using as a pillow.
Interesting.
It's almost imperceptible. It was only because you just felt it pull off like Velcro.
Am I like where it pulled off? Am I like bleeding or anything like that?
No, it's fine. It's not uncomfortable. And as you sort of rub it, it feels a little tacky, but otherwise fine.
Okay.
Just noticing that my camera is mirrored because I keep touching the side of my face. Anyway.
Yeah, I keep doing this when I'm like, oh no, wait, it's that. If
Yeah.
I'm pointing at LK.
So as you guys wake up, will put on a brave face, and you can tell that she's just being brave, but she is quite worried, as she's twitching a lot more and sort of watching her back. It says, "It is time. Please gather what you need. I do have one last gift for you. I spoke with some of the townsfolk who are know about medicinals, and we have created some potions for you." And she gives you some potions. Let me find where the potions are. She gives you one minor healing potion and one lesser healing potion. I have to find the potions. So, a minor healing potion. Now, these are not wrapped up they're not in a glass vial. They're in sort of a leaf that's been folded up, and it's not a liquid potion. It's kind of like a chewable, like a gummy, kind of tacky
It's like a
thing.
Nutrigrain bar.
It's a Nutrigrain bar, yeah. So,
Healing gummies.
a minor healing potion is 1d8, and a lesser healing potion is 2d8 plus 5.
So she just gives the party one each, or
No, she's
One.
only got the 2, so you'll have to split it up.
Who is, by the way, have we ever officially decided who the keeper of the goods are?
Well, I've already written
Oh,
it down,
right.
but
Okay,
yeah,
You-
but we should certainly distribute these. At least for Krenari can heal themselves or can heal other people. But we should. I always tend to prioritize the melee folk who are going to be in the thick of it when the healing runs out.
Yeah, Chauncey can also heal himself pretty well.
I would say-
that feat.
Except that I would also keep one. One goes to a
Healer.
melee person. One goes to a healer.
Okay. Do you want to keep the minor and then give the lesser potion, or yeah, you keep the minor and then give the lesser to maybe Zachris?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because Greysong, I imagine you would be in animal form more often and sometimes not be able to use it.
Fair.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
Don't mean to be
Sounds
stacking all
cute.
the magic items against you.
No. And yeah,
well,
when I
Zachary.
get to a time when I can do more than like once a day.
Oh yeah. When does that happen? Is that next?
I'm
Love-
not certain. I'll have to look ahead a bit. I'm not sure. I think it's based on focus points, and focus points I think go up at some point. But
Focus points you can refocus as a 10-minute rest, so they're
Okay.
short rest abilities.
That's cool.
So you'll I think have one until you get to like level 10 or something. It's quite a while. So as you guys head towards Topek's domain, see. I'd like one of you to make me another survival check.
I can do that one.
This would be the find direction. Oh, Great Song is fantastic at this.
Yay!
Nice.
You so even with Diu's help, you find exactly the perfect routes through these trees. You find all these strange fruits and strange weird lizard insect creatures, and as you're getting further and further into Tapek's domain, it becomes much darker and much more hostile, I'd say. There's a lot of prickle bushes that you're guiding people around, and ruined, rotten branches that almost act as traps. But you're able to easily, critically, get past everyone.
Okay, and if need be, I can use my feats for survey wildlife to make certain we try to circumvent any more hostile threats.
Okay, remember that, because that will become important.
Mhm.
Chauncey, on Chauncey's behalf, I rolled some crafting checks. He shows you guys a squirrel-sized centipede that he picks up and is like, "Oh, look at this! Giant centipede venom can cause severe muscle stiffness."
Thanks. I hate it.
And he, wiggles it around, and I'm gonna say, because I rolled this previously, he gets a dose of giant centipede venom, in a vial.
Yeah, good for him.
It'd be like the one of the few things that Grenari you would see a visible reaction to, no, stay away from me with that. Which would probably just endear Chauncey to chase them with it. Certainly.
Luckily, you get away with unscathed, and he's spending too much time milking this thing from its venom. But eventually, you guys travel with Diu to a hollow in another massive tree. This room, as you guys sort of step down the branch into this hollow, is very dim, and it's only lit by the ceiling about 100 feet up by a single patch of moss. Inside this room, with Diu walking first, you spot two others here. One is Zeed, who you saw previously, and the other is a woman who is more bird than woman. Her body is still covered in feathers, and her legs go down to talons. Her feathers are blood red.
It's kind of awesome when you roll over Zeed's picture. It looks like she's wearing a monocle.
Yeah.
I want to see if that roll. Yeah, that does show up on
That's
roll
funny.
20.
That's the hidden little thing in there to show you who's really evil.
Mhm. Only villains wear monocles.
As you come in, Tapek turns to you guys and says, "Greetings. I am Tapek, aspect of Kale. You must describe to me why we do not kill you."
We will do the very best we can, and may I start with saying that we greatly appreciate the opportunity to even speak with two such as yourselves in this magnificent place.
Ingratiating yourself to me will not help. I do not have an ego.
Very well. I do not mean any disrespect, only that to show that we truly appreciate and respect this place, and will do what we can to, at the very least, be on our way as quickly as possible, so as to not cause any harm to your people.
Greysong's not going to be able to help himself. He's locking eyes with Zeed, just watching her intently, almost a predator's glare. Not a glare, but just wary observation.
So this is a social encounter.
Yeah, so I was basically gonna try again to use a make an impression.
Yeah, for sure. But
And I feel stupid, like, hey, can I make a check and possibly totally screw this whole thing up? But I will.
no, this is important. What this actually will be, Chauncey will stay in the back because I don't want to have to roleplay him and just give you a failure every time. But you guys actually, for a social encounter, roll initiative.
Oh, okay.
How do we do that?
Give me 1 sec. I will get your tokens out. So, Chauncey, I'm going to put away.
Is there a social encounter screen for us
There-
to view?
There is not on this time, but there will be next time.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
I don't know if I wanted to roll that high.
Can we
Oh, and I
roll
don't.
with,
Oh wait, there's my token.
Can we roll initiative with otherwise if we're entering into this?
You actually, with this, you should be rolling initiative maybe with diplomacy, intimidation. You can also use a knowledge skill if you think like a knowledge of nature might help to ingratiate yourself to this.
Under nature, yeah.
So you do the drop down next to initiative.
Yes.
Plus 8, and I still get a 10.
Okay. Holy crap. Plus 6, and I got a 2. Or I got an 8.
Yeah.
So you can change mine to an 8, because I use nature.
Sure. And these guys I have already rolled, so I will add them.
Well, would Zacharias be taking this from a diplomatic standpoint, or would they be like looking at this as a potential threat, like kind of like Great Song is? Because I would argue that then perception would be the right stat to use.
Yeah.
I'll
So
leave that up to me. Yeah.
initiative in a social encounter typically has characters rolling society or a charisma skill
Oh,
like
okay.
diplomacy or deception.
Okay.
As with other encounters, your approach to the conflict determines the skill you'd roll. On your turn, you typically get to attempt one roll, usually by using a skill action. You guys will roleplay what the character says and does, and then determine what you'll roll. You can use abilities or spells that might help you make your case, though keep in mind that when most people see a spell being cast, they think someone's using magic to try and influence or harm them and have a negative reaction. Your rival here is Zeed. She will be making cases that you guys will have to use your skills to dispel. Similar to a skill challenge, you guys must accrue a certain number of successes before getting too many failures. We begin with her stepping forward and says, "As Kale's witness, I am here to say that the 5 people standing in front of you should be put to death. They have already slain important predators and upset the balance of our ecosystem." LK.
So I think what LK would probably do is, as this kind of mounting tension is occurring between Grey Song and Tapek and the kind of look, he would probably attempt to cut in and
Just
maybe
for
appeal.
clarification, it's Zeed. He's locking eyes.
Or
with
Z,
not-
sorry. And would probably notice this and step out and say, now we don't need to come to blows over this. This is fairly simple. We seem to have the same interests in mind. You want us gone, and we want to be gone. We didn't choose to be here, and we're certainly not interested in upsetting the balance of your plane. But we certainly do want to get home, and we'll defend ourselves. And he would probably want to use like society to almost be like taking like this is not combat, and it's not like argumentation. It's more like a good deal all around and a good thing for like business almost.
Okay, I'd say, yeah, society would be good. It wouldn't be particularly easy, because Tapek is not the most sociable. Please.
And am I able to give myself guidance?
Yes, but again,
So
remember
you
that if
did-
you cast a spell, react
gonna
poorly.
assume we think they'll react poorly.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna run the society check. I
Okay.
don't want to test those limits.
17 is enough to not critically fail.
Oh.
Topic says, your arguments do not sway me. You say you will fight us. You would not survive. Greysong.
Yeah, I will say you are supposed to be a representative of the predatorial side of your patron. Would you say then that you would not defend yourself if you were attacked, which is all that we did?
You have not been attacked. Not yet, at least.
We were attacked by these predators that you said that we killed.
You make...
Is it not the natural order of things?
It would be natural if you were naturally of this plane. But I will allow you to make a... Would you want to make like a nature check to invoke?
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately your words just don't strike true. Though Tapek does sort of say, yes, you have been brought here by strange circumstances and you were attacked. Zed still has a point. Right, I was going to give Zed 2 turns to your guys' 1. Zed says, they have brought forbidden metals and strange diseased oozes to this place, tainting Kali's domain. Surely they must be punished. And Glob is like, I don't have disease. Kunari.
So, I would like to utilize my diplomat's badge.
Yeah.
It specifically gives me the ability to recall knowledge about peoples that I've spent time with. I could either... I think that at this point, even though Krenari hasn't spent that much time with them, would have still tried to get a sense of their society, and maybe combine that with some of their experience with like cultures, specifically ones that are very wary of outsiders.
Yeah.
I need to make a DC 20 check to recall knowledge about people of that group.
Yes, that would either be society or I would say nature, whichever is better for you.
Definitely society. Damn it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. That's okay. All that would have gotten me is a +2 diplomacy bonus instead of a +1 diplomacy bonus.
Right.
So with that information, Krenari would just simply, kind of restate their position before. We seek to make the least amount of impact as possible for both sides of this conflict. Surely it would expend energies that you could be utilizing to help your people, in not utilizing those energies to kill us. If for no other reason, would it not be a waste of your time? Are there not greater threats that we could be facing? We come from a place where there are many threats on all sides, and we are just simply attempting to return to that place so that we can better our own homes, just as we are attempting to not harm yours.
I'd like you to make me a diplomacy check for that.
Okay.
18.
I'm willing to spend a hero point if that means that that's not that good.
Wait, what?
Isn't a hero point something that I would use to re-roll that?
Yes.
Or is that...
It is, but I don't know
Okay.
what you meant by if.
I'm just saying, like, if that's not that good of if that's not that much of a success in that regard. Oh, it's actually, I'm sorry. It should be a 19, by the way, because of the diplomat's badge. It's
Right.
not part of my inventory, so it's not actually adding.
This is it doesn't do it like the 5e sheet.
Okay,
So you wouldn't
yeah.
have, you'd have to manually put in the item bonus.
Yeah, I think I need to do that. So
In any case, Zeed is going to try and counter with, if they are allowed to leave and tell their story, they will return with others. Kale cannot trust their pleas or trust their lies. They go to, as they say, they go to further their own causes. That might be harming our cause. If they
do
die,
I have any ability to respond to that?
Well, you don't need to, because Topek raises a wing and says, "That is incorrect, Zeed. We have no way to judge whether they are lying or telling falsehoods. And if it is true, this is energy we could be putting elsewhere." And as she says that, she's sort of glaring at Zeed, and you see Zeed kind of blush a little bit. Zachris.
Zacharias not know where he is. Zacharias not come back. Zacharias and party like nature. We enjoy nature. Very naturally here. We like.
And I will use nature roll for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey!
Topic is like, our brother speaks the truth. He does like nature. They are nature. And Zeed just let me just find you can tell that she's struggling to think of more arguments against you, and she finishes by saying, "The portal is in my stratum. It is in my jurisdiction, and it is my decision. We have agreed that it is my territory. Whatever your arguments are, you cannot revoke that right." LK.
LK will say, fine. All of this is immaterial. The fact of the matter remains, if we stay in this plane and we're not returned to our original plane, we could cause the collapse of both. We need to go home.
What kind of check is that? Is that an arcana to describe the arcane implications, or a deception to make shit up off the top of your head?
So that is arcane. So he's going to kind of lay out the actual kind of framework for it.
Okay. I'd say that's viable. Make me a arcana check. Man, I wish this music looped better.
Oh my god, with a +1 and a +8.
So I imagine
9.
I imagine you are like explaining it perfectly, and like Krenari understands, but you're telling it like a professor who's told this a million times before, and Topek and Zeed just do not understand.
Yeah, and just like the classroom, like Krenari's the student who's just like, I get it, please just let me I can totally translate this for you. Oh, please just let me talk.
I will, I'll give Krenari, if you'd like to use that in your next argument, I'll give you a +1 on that. But
Awesome.
As for this is definitely a failure. Greysong, do you have any... And I should mention that you don't have to make a check. You don't have to sort of attempt a point-getting check. You could just make like a assistance check, maybe make a nature to try and give one of the more diplomats more ammunition. I should have said
I
that
am
before
going
the
to
beginning.
I'll open up my sketchbook, and I will show them, and Greysong will not showing them his patron, but like the wildlife. You say that we do not respect the wildlife, but why would I take the time to inscribe such things in my book if I did not revere such things?
Okay, what kind of diplomacy?
I'm gonna do a nature check.
Okay, yeah.
Because he probably took the time to be very respectful about like the anatomy of the things and how they functioned.
Yes.
Nice.
Topek even says, through this art and his essence, I sense a powerful animistic druidic power. We cannot kill someone like that, Zed. Zed is just... You don't... It doesn't matter how holy he is. The holy must die if that is what is needed. If they leave this place, they could bring back others. And that is sort of Zed's last argument. Krenari.
Much you have referenced twice now the idea that we would return to this place, or that others who come here would return to this place to harm it. You have seen my colleague here attempt to explain the essence of how we even got here in the first place and why we need to return. Let me first clarify that to some extent, and they would, like, kind of bringing it down to a more, not dumbing it down, but helping to understand, like, here's the infrastructure, like, and to really emphasize, we didn't want to come here. That we only are here because we're attempting to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And much as you have seen now that we are attempting to just pass through, but you can see that we appreciate it as well through my friend here. Greysong has taken this magnificent art. I have partaked in some of the magnificent music of your people, and then I would produce my own notebook to show the notes that they would have taken. And again, I guess the point they're trying to make is we're not like the outsiders that you are typically used to, who are attempting to, like, only get, like, the information of the lay of the land. Like, they're getting the feeling of things. They're getting the true experience of it. And that's really the information that's being recorded here. Not how to go from one place to another, but, like, how to live in this place. How it is to live in this place. And that would be the notes that Krenari would provide.
I think you're going a little over a single action
Sorry.
worth. But
attempting to combine all of the pieces.
I would give you a +2 on that on top of your item, your badge.
Here, I can. It always asks me for a bonus roll. I should actually just do that. Hey, there we go.
That is fantastic.
Nice.
Topek is convinced and says, "You are correct. I do not think you are a threat to this place, and it would be more of a threat to harm you and to keep you from your true goal. Zed, you must stand down." Zed says, "I should never have saved the devil-blooded one." And she sort of takes her wings, folds it over herself, and like a cape, and transforms into a bird.
Before they, like, fly away, would there be any opportunity? Please, Zed, we wish to speak and understand your position as well in this. We would like to work together with you to ensure we do not insult your realm. Would there be any amount of time to do that?
No,
okay.
she's running off.
She gone.
Krenari really wants to talk to her.
Yeah. Zakros will try to stop Krenari.
Yeah.
Let her go.
Topek will turn to you, and she is strong-headed. It is her nature. It is what Kale made her. I will assist you, but it will not be easy. This is her domain, and she will fight back. You and I will deal with our sister. You must keep yourselves alive until your roamer, I believe it's called, can let you escape from this place.
Thank you for your assistance again.
It is not something to be thanked. You do not thank the wind.
If there is some way we can, at the very least, leave a more positive impression about this place, before we leave, if there's anything we can do to help you,
Your words
please.
are kind, but Kale does not use words. This is
Understood.
This is the best I could have hoped for. Or that's what Dew says. Dew is like, this is the best I could have hoped for. Topic and Dew sort of discuss a little bit, and they say that they will have to approach in a way that won't summon Kale, because if Kale shows up, you guys will be at the whims of Kale.
Yeah.
They sort of explain the way to get up. Her domain is at the very top of Topic's domain, so you will have to, skill challenge your way up there, while they go and protect you guys from the various birds and raptors that will be closing in on you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Krenari's help, because they're not going to be able to help the next part.
So you guys can leave Topex. You and Topek will sort of turn to you and say, "Is there anything else you would wish to speak of before we leave?"
Many things, but it sounds that as if this is a most pressing matter, and maybe we should get on with it.
Chauncey would probably also be like, "Yeah, let's get on with it. I'm tired of standing around and jibber jabber. Let's get to stabbing and then healing up the stabbing. A stab first, stab later kind of guy." I can't do his accent at all. I don't think he can do his accent either, but that's fine. Hi, Aaron, if you're watching this in a VOD. So as they leave, you notice Tsotsoya is sort of standing at the doorway, just sort of like crossed arms and listening, and is sort of off thinking in her own head, looking up at the sky as you guys approach.
If there's time, I think Krenari would approach them, and you seem lost in thought. What is your take on this situation?
As part of the Inquiration, we are trained to respect the people who live in the plains. We are also taught that sometimes they do not know what is best for themselves. However, I worry that we are not the ones who should be judging such things. Perhaps Topek is right. We should not return. Also, they called me devil-blooded. That is not pleasant. I wish not to return.
I understand where you're coming from in this. People are often not very kind to people who look like me as well. But I believe that these people are capable of it. Just not in the time that we live in right now.
With your feet and like calling out yourself, she's absolutely going to be like, yes, I agree. Thank you for speaking to me, Nuntium Krenari. Now let us begin our arduous climb.
Zacharias likes to climb.
We come to a skill challenge.
Alright.
You guys are, essentially, you guys need to climb up all of these trees, about an hour's worth of climb, through dangerous wilderness to get to Zeed's domain. I've put some example activities here of maybe taking the lead to climb up, help allies progress, swinging across vines with acrobatics, or crafting harnesses with crafting. Well, I guess we can just start.
Yeah,
Who'd like to start?
I can do the same thing I was doing before with survey wildlife.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah.
I think Krenari would be like, at this point, they don't have a lot of shame anyway, but would like be tying a rope to themselves and looking at Zacharias like, friend Zacharias, I hate to impose, but as you can tell, I'm not very good in these regards. Do you mind if I at least atow myself to you in case of emergency?
Zacharias will help. Yes, yes.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. And then we'll tie off to Zacharias, because, like...
Greysong, can you
Yeah.
post the survey wildlife?
oh yeah.
'Cause I don't remember what it does. Study detail, spend 10 minutes based on Nest, Cat, and that. On a success, you can attempt to recall knowledge with a -2 penalty to learn more from the creatures here. So I won't make you make the recall knowledge, because the survey wildlife itself is,
It's more flavor than anything.
and it's a critical success. You know exactly what is poisonous, and you know that these bushes, you've never seen this plant before, but that is where giant spiders hide. And
Ugh.
you completely avoid it. And able to point out a route, perhaps, to Zacharias.
Yeah.
Where the best way would be. That is absolutely a success. Who would like to go next?
I will attempt to, as Krenari was saying, with the rope, I'll take the rope and then start to climb up.
Okay.
So I'll kind of pop out the claws and that.
Yeah, make me a... Ooh.
Yeesh.
Not a critical fail,
No.
but enough that you realize that you're taking too long to really get the places you need to get to.
Can they use the monkey pen?
Perhaps.
It just makes a critical fail turn into a failure, so it really wouldn't.
It does
Okay.
make you move faster on a success, but this
Right.
wasn't a success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I checked that before.
Yeah. Nuntium LK?
LK will entreat Helicopter Harvey to pick up the rope and fly it up and tie it off.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he's going to do that, if he's going to roll or not, because he has manual dexterity, keep in mind.
Oh, yeah, because you've got a special expanded familiar.
Yes, right.
So this rabbit has hands. Or at
He's
least
got
opposable thumbs.
He's got at least his opposable thumbs, opposable paws. He's got wing ears that he's flying with. He can speak.
What I'm going to say is flight is typically acrobatics based. If either you or him want to make a acrobatics check.
So that's a good question. Is acrobatics one of the ones we found out last time was saving roll? It's acro. Yes, it is. Acro, stealth, and perception are equal to my level plus spellcasting ability in a modifier. So 1d20 plus 10.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes.
Uh, 12.
What?
Okay.
So, unfortunately, it is the size of a rabbit, and that is causing you some issues of actually getting to the actually pulling a rope. It's too heavy for him.
You're useless, Harvey.
That's not a critical fail either, so that's at least good enough that I'm not going to give it a failure. Greysong or Nuntium? Or is that
I don't see it on the example activities, but I do see calming dangerous wildlife as a nature check. But could I utilize my new Maestro's instrument to maybe play out some of the music I was hearing around the village, because I would assume that they would be in some way imitating the life around them, bird sounds and such when they're playing. Maybe that would be to help them.
Yeah. Yeah, make me a performance check, I'd say.
Okay, and with that, I will get a +1 with the performance check. No.
No. So what I do want to rewind a little bit because I completely forgot. You guys succeeded on the Zed discussion, so you guys all get a hero point.
Oh.
Also,
I'm going to use that
if
for
you want to
this.
use that now, and if you guys want to use that retroactively for your athletics and
What does the hero point do for you?
it gives you a reroll.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It also has a special thing where if you are dying, you can spend all of them to relive. But Krenari, you bite into your pan flute because this is a much different make and model.
Oof. Yikes.
Hey, at least LK did better.
Yeah, so LK and Harvey successfully pull everything up. I will remove...
Harvey's got like ripped by forearms.
Zachary, do you want to use?
Yeah, might as well. Let me remove it real quick, and
That's
then I will roll.
so we have 2 now, right? You start with 1.
Yeah, you start the session with 1. So you
Did-
should have 2.
Really? I didn't realize that. I had 0.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Does that carry
Well,
over from
yeah.
session to session?
They specifically don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
I lost one.
Yeah, so you...
I made the same roll.
Yeah, same roll. So still 2 successes, 1 failure.
I'm gonna do a nature check. I did a survival check before, but just trying to find the most natural handholds in the tree as I climb up and kind of guiding the others, pointing them out.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Leave no trace.
Oh, are you freaking? I'll use mine. That is
Okay.
a 1.
Wow.
Okay.
Holy
That is
crap.
a 1. Yeah, I'm using mine.
Yeah.
Good grief. My rolls have been horrendous tonight. That's
Hey, there we
So
go.
you almost put your hand
What?
in a wasp's nest,
better.
but successfully move everyone else away from it.
Wow.
Glob is just like, oh, those guys look like friends. They've got nice stingers, like the thing that Chauncey got poison from. Oh, poison kills you, doesn't it? Well, it's good that you stayed away. And Chauncey's like, oh, do you guys got any time I can milk some wasps?
No. I think we need
don't-
to be on our way.
Zacharias not think wasp can be milked.
As much as I might be fascinated by your attempt at that, I don't think we have the time for it.
Ugh, you guys no fun. What,
How many more do we need?
at
That was
least a couple more.
Yeah.
You're about halfway
was
up
that-
the...
so. Should we have 3 successes? Because LK had a success as well, right?
Right, yes. Sorry. So yeah, now you're about a little over halfway.
I could. My skills are so bad if it's not talking to something.
Mhm. Well, and I've got the same skills that several other people have. So.
Well, that doesn't mean
Um,
you can't use them. I don't think we can use the same skill.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I could use my. Could I use my intimidation to attempt to influence the wildlife so that we don't have to get into a combat situation, just to keep
Yeah,
them
for
from
sure.
interfering with us? They're not like. "Rah!" It's just more like a presence kind of thing,
Yeah, for sure.
making our presence known.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, you start
Ooh,
noticing
right.
that even with Zed, Dew, and Topek flying around, there are a number of like hawks and other predatory birds watching you, and you can see them like eyeing you guys at the most precarious. You probably scare one that's like about to swoop at Harvey. You can see this area now. They described Zeed's domain as being the most sort of verdant and like evergreen style areas. What's arboreal? I don't remember the exact
Mhm.
word, but
Yeah, Mario.
you're also noticing that the tree you're climbing is sort of like, it's like an apple tree at first, but then you're going up and it's actually morphed into a evergreen pine tree as you go further. So you can see where you're supposed to get to. I just need one more check from you guys to make it there.
I will attempt a survival to see kind of maybe the best route to get there.
There is likely to be more traps in this area, so yeah.
Okay.
Hey, nice.
Right.
Successfully, you do notice that there are a number of branches that other birds don't sit on. And as you're sort of looking at them and like getting ready to climb on them, they are covered with a sap, a almost acidic resin.
Mm.
You guys successfully make it all the way to the rooftop.
Cool.
At this part, you get to the canopy, pulling yourself up. You see Topek, Dew, and Zeed flying in the air. It's becoming night. You realize that you've been climbing for most of the day.
Mick, surreptitiously, I'm gonna walk over, like, just kind of like I'm tired from the climb, and I'm gonna lean up against the tree with the growth and touch the tree experimentally, just like leaning against it, and see if I get a similar effect that happens.
You do. You leave a
Okay.
small residue.
Okay.
At this point, you hear Zeed, Topek, and Dew speaking animatedly, arguing about exactly where they, like, you have no jurisdiction on this stratum. You need to lay down. Stand down, Zeed.
Oh.
And almost simultaneously, as if like a flock taking off, they shift into birds and start fighting. They are giant eagles, giant owls, and a giant what's another bird?
Raven.
There we go. Clawing at each other as Topek and Dew fight off the much stronger Zeed. You start noticing other creatures, other birds start flocking together and coming towards you.
They actually had a fourth sister, but it turned into an ostrich when it went into bird form and fell to
Fell
its
down.
death.
Tried to flap. And
Yeah.
Before we get into combat, didn't Duke say when they're all three together that it usually gets Kale's attention?
Perhaps.
yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Don't believe it.
Wanted to make sure I remembered that correctly.
I would like you guys to roll me initiatives.
I reject that reality.
Of initiative?
No, of Kali showing up.
Normally, initiative is perception, right?
Of course.
I just realized that my initiative
Yeah.
is not rolling secretly.
Oh.
For please ignore the various things in the.
It's cool. I know I'm going last. Don't worry. I know everything else is going to go before me. The way I think about it is actually that Krenari always contemplates their actions a little bit too long before they take them.
So, large bird comes from the west, east rather. It is brightly colored and has a long, trailing tail. Those of you with like nature knowledge, you would recognize this as an emperor bird, an almost. Well, it's a mundane bird back on your plane, but this one appears to be almost supernaturally beautiful. It's like the other birds start to fly towards you.
I don't want to kill it. I feel like I need to have a magic ability to add words to the description of a thing, and it becomes a thing. Because an elegant emperor penguin would completely change the situation, much like the ostrich.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Again, it would flap and.
This one is going to make something at a 20-foot fly speed, so it swoops around to the side of you. Another one comes from the west, and it's going to go 60 feet towards you as well. And these are, on about your level, but slightly above you. LK.
I think I'm going to merely.
Oh, I forgot to add Chauncey.
I think you also forgot to add Tsotsoya.
Oh, I did.
Is she still hurt?
No.
It just looks like her health bar is smaller.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You are right. Let me fix that.
That's a miss.
That is a miss, and Roll20 is freezing on me. Give me half a sec. So yeah, you produce flame at which one?
The elegant coming in beside me on the right.
Okay.
Hanging here. On that one, and I have shield up on myself till next turn.
Okay. And let me roll Tsotsoya's initiative. Did I get Chauncey? Yes. Let me refresh this. Zachris.
If I moved towards the graceful one, can I attack it?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll move. Oops. There. And then I will make it my hunt prey.
Hunt prey?
Mm-hmm. And then I will take one attack. This one.
Step up and thrust at it. It flies above your reach, and you miss.
Yep. Okay.
This swarm of birds starts flocking towards you. These guys move faster. But it does have to use all of its actions to sort of swarm, and it's right above you, Greysong. Tsotsoya is going to come to your aid, stepping forth with her blade and make 2 quick attacks. 20 and 27. The bird swarm, however, is resistant to slashing 3. Oh no, piercing 6. So 2 stabs, and it takes only 3 points of damage. Skewering, 3 of the birds. As that is... she will... What can she do? She can make a 3rd attack, but it's going to, do nothing. So she'll stop. The ravenous bird swarm flies towards you as well. This one is going to swarm around Chauncey. Below, hanging below one of the branches, a giant gecko, steps up around and starts moving towards you as well.
They try to sell us insurance.
Yeah.
What are these guys? Their feet allow them to climb virtually any surface, no matter how slick or sheer.
I'll use my lizard folk charm.
It just steps up to LK, but a second feathery gecko moves up. It is also going to move over to LK. And it is going to make a jaw attack. 15?
Does not hit.
Your AC is 2 lower because you're flat-footed.
1 higher because I am...
Oh, shield.
Shielded.
Wouldn't that be 15, though?
So I'd be... Oh, yes, it would be 15.
So you take 3 piercing damage, and you are shoved 1 square this way.
Unpleasant.
It takes... it has to use another action to push, but Yeah, as part of its jaw strike, it like slams you backwards. Greysong.
I'm gonna do Ray of Frost at the bird swarm above me.
Okay.
If it'll submit. There we go.
17. Bird swarm. What kind of resistance? So it's not area damage or splash damage, right? Area would be a
I think it's
different
a cone, right?
Sorry?
Well, I can't remember. No, it's not a cone. It's
No,
just
it's
a
just the one.
beam. Yeah, it's a beam.
17 is enough, and 11 cold is going to freeze all of the birds.
Ooh.
The swarm is dissipated. You kill, most of them, and the rest sort of disperse off into the distance.
Impressive.
Third action?
Let's see. I mean, I guess since they're in the air, I can't really flank any of them.
The geckos you can, but
I think I'm just going to step into the middle just so I don't get pushed off or anything.
Kranari.
LK, what's your HP?
24 max, and I just lost 3. I'm at 21.
Okay. Kranari is going to reach back and touch LK and cast Sanctuary. So this is a DC that targets attacking him will make, and with those results. So if they're attacking him, they'll have to attempt to do so, and may waste their actions doing so.
Right.
And then with the final action, Kranari will cast Shield.
Perfect.
Nice.
So let me just see. Does that
Just got that spell. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty great.
That's cool. Yeah, I've always liked Sanctuary.
So, the Elegant Emperor Bird, it is going to continue its movement, swooping over this way. And you sort of expect this, talons to come at you, LK, but instead it, turns and takes its tail and just sort of brushes the tail in a big sweeping motion around you. Let me, print it out. I need everyone except for Greystong and Tsotsoya to make me a will save.
Ooh, that's a high DC.
Real. Ugh. Yeah.
Yay!
So, Kranari, you are dazzled for 1 round. The rest of you are dazzled for 1d4 rounds.
Wait, I saved.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, for 1 round. Okay, got it.
Oh, everyone is dazzled for 1 round.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, what does that do, Dazzle?
So dazzle. Let me just quickly add these. I will have a macro to post this in chat eventually. Dazzled, your eyes are overstimulated. If your vision is your only precise sense, all creatures and objects are concealed from you. Concealed means that if you target someone, you have to do a DC 5 flat check, or you fail. Area effects aren't subject to the flat check.
Okay.
So that was how many of its actions? It moved and did that, which was 2 actions. The Graceful Emperor is going to swoop, and instead of doing the same sort of tail thing, it sort of flexes its tail and makes a tail lash. It makes a tail strike against 2 different creatures within reach, without multiple attack penalty. Whoops. Actually, make the attack, please. So one at Kranari and the other one at Zachris. Kranari, you take 11 slashing. Zachris, you actually 29, 28. Does that crit both of you?
How much do they need to succeed
10.
over our
10.
AC?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crit.
So this Graceful Emperor Bird just stabs its tail directly into you, Kranari. 22 slashing damage.
I'm down.
Oh.
That insta got me.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good thing you guys have potions.
I almost casted Sanctuary myself, and I should have done it. But Grenari is a selfless person.
Zachris, you take 16 slashing.
Well, that's 11. Holy crap.
Your scarf that you wear is almost completely shredded. LK. Okay. Oh,
Yes. I think. Oh.
did I? I didn't add Chauncey. I rolled his initiative. But I don't think it added in.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Did not.
I'm gonna put him right after you, LK.
Okay.
And I'll give him 2 turns.
Where is that ravenous bird swarm exactly? Like, what squares is it in? Is it in the ones that it's showing?
No, sorry. It is directly above Chauncey. So, about 10 feet off the ground.
Can I move to here?
Yep.
And then catch a 15-foot cone for color spray,
Ooh.
clipping the 3 of these. 1, 2, 3.
You wouldn't be able to get both the gecko and... Oh, wait, no, yeah. Angling it that way, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Do you want me to draw it?
No. I said yes.
Okay.
I don't know what I need to
I
roll,
will
though.
cast it out, yeah.
Alright. They have to do a will save. Let me look up what the spell does.
And it's spell DC 18.
Okay. Color spray. Let me just copy and paste the save description in there. Alright. The Emperor Bird gets a 19. What did you say the DC was?
18.
18. So it successes. It is dazzled for 1 round. The plumed gecko is going to have wow, only +5. It's going to be dazzled for 1 round, and the bird swarm is going to. It has swarm mind. I need to quickly look up what swarm mind is. I don't know.
You only have to kill one of them, and then they all die. They only share 1 brain.
The monster doesn't have it is immune to mental effects that target a specific number of creatures. It's still subject to mental creatures that affect all creatures in an area. So, I believe color spray affects all creatures in the area.
Yep.
It make a will save 15, and that is a failure. Stunned 1, blind 1, and dazzled for a minute. The whole bird swarm is just fucked right up, fam.
That is the end of turn.
So stunned, dazzled, and blinded. Chauncey will dash to you, Kranari. And even though it is, he is dazzled, he is going to attempt a battle medicine on you. So, first off, a flat DC 5 check. Success. Medicine 22. I believe treat wounds is 2d8. So, he patches you up, Kranari, and gives you 6 healing. Bringing you up to 6. So that was movement action, and he'll use his last action to raise his shield. Zachris.
I will use my Hunter's Edge Flurry to attack 3 times on the Graceful.
Yeah, for sure.
So first attack.
Dead on.
Okay. Second
Would be at -2.
attack. Yep. And then
No luck.
Next one.
16 is just barely not enough.
Ah. Okay. Oof. Yeah.
Tsotsoya is going to rush down to here and start attacking the bird that LK is flanking. I have so many character sheets open. Makes a double strike, getting a 19 and a 29, which is going to not kill it, but do a decent 17 damage. Plus 2 because of the flat-footed. The ravenous bird swarm is going to swarm down on Tsotsoya. Pecking frenzy. Each enemy in the bird swarm space makes a piercing save. So that's actually going to try and get multiple people in this and do that. They are going to make dexterity. Reflex saves. Tsotsoya is made for this.
Is he stunned?
He's stunned. You're right. Stunned and blind. So, stunned means one action is removed. Yes, so he loses one action. Then blind is you critically fail perception checks. You're immune. Can't detect anything. It doesn't give me a DC, but I'm pretty sure it's like DC 15. But it is a swarm, so I think the swarm overrides that. I'm gonna roll it anyways. DC 15? It makes it. For both. Okay, Chauncey is fine, but Tsotsoya takes half of 1d4. So, Tsotsoya takes 1 point of damage. Then the stun falls off, and the blind falls off. Feathered Gecko is going to shift around LK and make a jaw strike. I think that hits.
That obviously hits.
Then uses its next action to push you one more square.
Hey, did it make the save for Sanctuary?
Oh,
Oh, right.
Yeah, anything hitting him has to make a will save.
is that not a sustained spell?
No.
Oh. How long does it last?
It is. Let me just throw it back out there.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Nice.
So
So a will save?
yeah, I don't choose spells that require concentration because I know I'm going to be dead all the time.
It does succeed on its will save.
Oh, okay. Well, I tried.
The plumed gecko should have gone. I missed it. It's going to attack Tsotsoya. Is this guy statused? He's not. Misses Tsotsoya. Grey Song.
Yeah, I will, I guess, Ray of Frost the gecko in front of me. What is it? Or is that... No, that's Zacharias. Right. I will not Ray of Frost Zacharias. I will Ray of Frost the Graceful Emperor. I just saw a lizard. I couldn't tell because of the yellow.
Wow.
Unintentionally racist. Gray Song.
Right, exactly. All lizards look alike. Huh?
Jeez. Let's see, Ray of Frost.
23 dead on. 8 cold damage is going to bore into it. That's not a crit, but it's still pretty good.
Okay, that's it for me.
Krenari.
Krenari is going to start glowing with a holy light as they use Angelic Halo. And then they are going to cast a 2-action heal. Let's see.
Nice.
So it should be 1d8, and then activating the +1, that's another, so it becomes a 2d8. Wait, no. Heightened... Why is this not...
Can you output what you're doing?
Yeah, here, let me just do this. It's
Alright.
gonna be more than that because I'm casting it twice, or it's the second level version. Single action, 2 action. The spell has a range of 30 feet. If you're healing a living creature, increases the hit point versus by 8. So, yeah.
Oh, you're casting it at
As a
second
2
level.
action. Yeah.
Oh, as a 2 action, but not at a second level. Because you don't have
No,
second
no,
level
no. I don't have second level. No, I mean the 2 action version.
Alright, so that is going
Um,
to heal 1d8 plus 8.
Yeah, so
plus another
7.
2. Oh,
yeah. So 7 plus 8 plus 2.
So
So
17?
17. Yeah, I needed that. Well, I went over. I can't overheal. Alright.
The elegant Emperor Bird is going to continue flying and as it flies, make a strike against Chauncey and Tsotsoya with Tail Lash. Chauncey is fine, but Tsotsoya is also fine. She has a 19. She has a 21 AC. Then it uses another action to fly this way. The Graceful Emperor is going to swoop up and around and attack Zachris and Greysong with the same effect.
Okay.
Zachris 19 and Greysong
Yep.
21
Yep, that'll hit.
for 6 and 11 slashing damage.
All right.
LK.
LK will shield himself, and then he will cast a 2-action hydraulic push on the big bird swarm.
Okay.
Cancel that. I'm sorry. I'm just going to produce flame, and I'm going to attack the lowest emperor,
Okay.
elegant emperor on the left hand side there.
That hits 6 damage. Let's see. On a crit, it takes persistence, so it doesn't crit, but it does almost kill this Emperor Bird. It caws out in fury. As you guys are watching the aspects of Calais fight, you start hearing a big swooping noise off in the distance. You can't make out exactly where it is because of the cloud cover, or the tree cover. Anything else in your turn, okay?
Nope.
Chauncey is just going to lie on his back and stab upwards. It hits, doesn't sneak attack or deadly, but second attack does not hit. And then he'll try and get foe up this way. Zachris.
Okay, I will raise my shield, which will do 1 point of damage to me. And then I will do 2 attacks onto the Graceful.
Okay.
So, that for the first attack.
23 slashes through. 9 damage. Doesn't take it out.
Okay. And then second attack.
It tries to swoop to the side, but you are faster than that. And like a snake attacking a prey, you
That's
kill
right.
it.
Like a lizard jumping up. And, yeah, there we go.
It crashes to the ground as it tries to loop-de-loop.
Cool.
That was all 3.
Yes.
Tsotsoya is going to scream and attack upwards. Getting a
Dang.
2. That is a crit.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That destroys the swarm of birds.
Sweet.
She then turns to the plumed gecko and holds her sword out. Actually, she's gonna make an intimidation check to try and startle this thing. She is not trained in it, so she doesn't do well. The feathered gecko is going to seems to really doesn't dislike you, LK. Runs up, makes a jaw attack.
Will
misses
save.
this time. Oh, will save.
So that's got to be critical failure, right?
Yeah.
So, oh man, I gotta go all the way back up. Critical failure. The creature wastes the action and can't attempt to attack the target for the rest of the sanctuary's duration. So for the rest of the 1 minute duration, they can no longer attack LK.
Wow. Though LK has used hostile actions.
I'm just reading off the spell.
But it doesn't. Sanctuary ends if the target uses a hostile action.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So on the last turn, it would have ended when I fired off the attack.
Gotcha.
So the feathered gecko still would have attempted the attack and failed. The plumed gecko is going to do the same thing. But they are desperate to try and push someone off. 15? I think that you block.
That's on me again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's desperate to try and push you off this thing.
Am I flat-footed right now?
No.
Okay.
And you were shielding too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Grey Song.
I'm sitting at 17.
Yeah, seeing 2 on LK, I'm going to take a shot at the nearest one to me with Ray of Frost.
For sure.
If I can get it to submit.
No luck.
Alright. That's it for me.
Alright, Krenari.
Without getting up, so kind of in a kneeling position, Krenari is going to now let forth a burst of radiant healing energy. They're going to use a 3-action heal, which will hit everyone. If only these things were undead, it would kill a whole bunch of stuff, but it won't do that. So, of course, it's a low freaking roll this time, but everybody's going to gain 4 hit points.
Yep.
Because I'm still angelic.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice. Thank you.
not that elegant emperor. I just saw that health go up.
Yeah, it targets
doesn't
all living and undead creatures in the burst.
Isn't it by choice?
No, it would say that.
Okay, I wouldn't have done that then. I would have. I just would have targeted. I just would have done a 2-action heal. So
Okay.
same thing, but plus
8.
what is it? Plus 8. So 10, 12 to Zachris.
How much?
12 HP.
Yeah,
Alright.
unfortunately, heal
Cool.
does heal everyone. Same with
Cool.
harm. Harm harms everyone. Though they had to errata that harm doesn't
Of
hurt
course.
yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's Pathfinder, so why would it be nice to you? And then I guess Krenari will use the rest of their, shield or stand up? Stand up, I guess. Stand up. Yeah.
It's more AC
Yeah.
in the long run.
Yeah.
The Emperor is going to swoop around and make another 15-foot cone of dazzling display.
Okay.
I need a wisdom save from everyone within 15 feet, which is everybody but LK.
Wisdom save.
You were confused for 1d4
Well-
rounds.
Didn't you say it was a cone? So.
No, it wasn't a cone. It was
Okay.
each creature within 15 feet.
Remind me, is this save in a special place or is it?
Yeah!
Nice.
Critical success.
I got critical fail. You got critical success. Nice.
Sorry, what was that, Grayson?
I just click on the wisdom. I don't
No, there is a saving throw under armor class.
under armor class.
Yeah, it's the wheel.
Oh, will. I thought you said
Will.
wisdom.
Sorry, will save. I'm playing too much 5e. And Tsotsoya. Alright, so unfortunately, Zachris and Tsotsoya are confused for 1d4 rounds. For 1 round.
Yay.
The rest of you
All
are
right.
dazzled.
Even with the crit success? Is
Sorry.
it still a crit success if I roll a nat 20?
Yes.
Okay, then I did crit succeed.
Yeah, for sure. LK, you were not in the range of this. What do you do?
Excellent. I will cast. I think I have the range for it. I just want to check quickly. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's lame. I'm going to guidance Zachris.
Okay.
Well,
And
I'm
then-
confused at the moment. So,
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to use it.
What is
Yeah.
confused?
Uh,
Confused. Remove action.
Confused is you're flat-footed. You don't treat anyone as your ally. You can't delay, ready, or use actions. You use all of your actions to strike or cast offensive cantrips.
oh,
Your targets are determined randomly by the GM.
ugh.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can the guy? Sorry. What? Really? I'm gonna pull that condition back up.
Yeah, new
If
guy.
it's impossible, you babble incoherently, wasting your actions. And each time you
No.
take damage from an attack or spell, you can attempt a flat check to recover.
Okay. So can that? I'm gonna move up to here. 5, 10, 15, 20-ish. I'm in here. 25. And then I'm gonna turn and cast a hydraulic push on this one.
Okay.
You were the one who pushes.
15 doesn't hit. You go a little too high, and
Okay.
it falls flat to the ground. You pull off some of its feathers, but that's about it.
Slim.
Uh,
Done.
Chancey is going to run up here, make an attack. He is dazzled, so he succeeds in that. That is going to miss, actually,
Hmm.
because it is still
Frickin-
above you and not being flanked.
Frickin' birds have more AC than some of us.
That takes out the elegant Emperor Bird.
Oh, that's good.
Yay!
Am I still confused?
Yes. It's not a sustained thing.
Got it. Okay.
So you are confused and thus attack someone randomly. I'm gonna roll a D3,
Oh, that's not good.
D4 minus 1.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. So Krenari.
I had a feeling this was about to happen.
Alright.
So let me see. Do you use all of your actions?
Just like
yeah.
heal, and you're like, "Thank you." It's stab.
You use all of your actions to strike or cast offensive cantrips. Though the GM can make you like draw a weapon or move to be in a target's reach, stuff like that.
Okay.
So roll me 3 attacks against Krenari.
Okay.
With agile but not hunter's mark.
Right. Okay. All right. So here's the. I'm guessing I'm still going to use my Gladius.
Yeah.
That's what I had out. Okay. All right. First attack.
I'm so sorry. So you heal up Zachris, and then he stabs you in the back
Come on!
for 16 piercing damage.
I tried to move into range so it reduced the chances you get hit, Krenari.
Second attack.
Second attack.
Yeah,
is
I'm down.
Yeah, that was -5.
with -5, does that hit you?
Yeah, that was with. No, that was with.
Oh,
minus.
with -5.
I added -5 to the roll.
So yeah, Krenari is down. I'm gonna roll another D4. Odds is Greysong, evens LK.
Oh.
Evens is LK. So last one
Okay.
with -8.
Yeah. 4. So.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's that whiffs.
Of course, I have to roll the best against party members.
I take no offense. If this is just
Yeah.
what I expect.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll sort of turn to you guys and ask, like, do you have that potion still?
Isn't
I do.
she also
Yeah.
confused?
So
Oh, which
Zachris,
confused?
after he snaps out of it, will realize what he did, and he'll use this potion on Krenari. But-
Do you have any more actions to do so?
Yeah, that'll be next.
Okay.
Yeah, after the confusion wears off.
So Tsotsoya got a 10 on her will save. She actually didn't critically fail,
Okay.
which is
I couldn't remember or not.
I think I said that she did, but that was wrong. Tsotsoya will run up, make the double slice, make 2 checks. Both of those pass. 18 and 16 are both gonna hit. He's not flat-footed, so he doesn't take additional damage, but takes 13. The feathered gecko is going to return the bites, but first flank around back. And Tsotsoya blocks. The plumed gecko will not use flanking and instead try and desperately get Tsotsoya off. Missing as well. Second attack at -4 is definitely going to miss. Greysong.
Yeah, Ray of Frost on the wounded one. Let's see, spells, Frost.
25 hits. 8 is going to take him out. Any other actions?
Nope.
All right, so Krenari, this is the second time you've dropped. So you actually have Dying 2.
You know, the funny thing is, I actually forgot to take it off of my sheet, so I already had Dying 2 on there. That's how often this happens.
Actually, your dying condition increases by 1 if you take damage while dying, or by 2 if you took damage from an enemy's critical hit or critical failure on your save.
Oh, so the last one I actually should have taken more,
So yeah.
because I died from a critical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're at Dying 3 now.
Yeah.
Can you not use your hero point as well to?
You can, yes. If you use your
I've got her healed next turn.
So what would the hero point do?
The hero point would stabilize you. Let me double check.
And you lose the dying condition, and you
You
don't
can
get
do
the
this when your dying condition would increase. You lose the dying condition entirely and stabilize 0 hit points. You don't gain wounded, or increase its value from losing the dying condition in this way.
And we only have one more enemy. I guess I'll wait. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. What does dying... It's dying 5, then you're DED dead, but like, what happened? Is there any other conditions that happen along the way?
Well, right now you have to make a recovery check. At the start of your turn, you attempt a flat check, DC 10 plus your current dying value, with various critical failure giving you 2 extra.
Okay.
Ooh. Could you then use your hero?
Then I'm going to go ahead and use the hero point. Then we'll just say that I did. So now it's a dying 2. Because if I critically fail, then I'll die. Like, for real die.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just do that.
You stabilize and you're at Wounded 1.
So I remove the dying condition?
Yes, you have no dying condition, but you do have the wounded condition.
Okay.
So you are still unconscious, and thus your turn is skipped. LK.
I will cast guidance on Chauncey, and then I will produce flame on the and not hit again.
And not hit. Chauncey's no longer dazzled. He will run up, and he is dumb enough that he will leap onto this difficult platform to attack. That is going to hit
Ooh.
and do sneak attack. So,
Nice.
15 damage. However, he is smart enough to not want to die, so he'll use another action to step away. Zachris.
All right. I will use my lesser healing potion on Krenari.
Alright, that would be one action to get it out, and then another action to administer.
Okay, so it is +5, so it'd be 10.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, all this time, Krenari is still glowing.
Yeah, I don't think that goes away.
It doesn't go away.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
There you go. And then, so I've got one action left. So I will move towards the plumed gecko.
Did Confuse fall off? Was it just a...
It was
round?
just one round.
Murdering your friends is like a clarifying situation.
Yeah,
Tsotsoya tells you
Sobering.
to step up
that's
here.
right. Huh?
Tsotsoya tells you to step up here.
Oh, okay.
flanking?
Can do.
She'll step next. Make her double strike. And get
Nice.
2 hits.
Bang.
I mean, they both do the minimum amount of damage,
Minimum damage, yeah.
but that does kill it.
Nice. Good.
With the birds sort of gone, Dew speaks to you, sort of speaking Orin in her bird mouth. You can barely understand. She says, "Quick, start your lantern now. We will still hold off Zeed."
Squawk, bloody squawk, squawk. And I guess I'll hold the lantern now. So they're intimating that they're ready. They're ready, and we can activate.
Yes. You can tell that they are struggling desperately against Zeed, who is trying to swoop and attack you, breaking from them. But they successfully hold him down.
Okay, and yeah, did they call us over or just hold out the lantern?
Hold out the lantern. Blob will say, like, "This right here is the portal. I feel it. It vibrates weird."
In his wildly diminutive body, he will step up and look triumphant and hold it in the air.
It takes an uncomfortable amount of time as you see Tapek and Dew fight off Zeed, who more desperately and more sadly attempts to fight you.
Which one of them looks more hurt in this conflict?
Zeed, for sure.
Oh, really? I don't know that I would heal Zeed, but between Dayak and Tapek.
It's difficult to really tell.
Okay, I would send it. I would send it to Dayak. I would send my last level 1. So the full two action heal.
Yeah, you get it off before. You notice, like, these are very, very strong creatures, and your D8 plus 8 healing is...
I'm sure nothing, but it's the gesture.
It's a splash in the pond.
It's mostly a gesture.
As the lantern starts to radiate around you, you see a strange, dark rock, almost made from smoke, pressed into position, almost like there's a force holding smoke together. It only shifts imperceptibly. You feel yourself getting that now almost familiar tugging sensation as you are pulled out of this plane. And, well, we'll figure out where you are next week.
I want to note it down that just before we enter the portal and get pulled away, I'm going to cast the Mage Hand cantrip and leave a ethereal middle finger floating at Zeed as we disappear.
Oh, you just ruined all of the stuff that Krenari did to...
Yes, but I've endeared myself to Chauncey.
That's true.
Couple of people will remember this.
So,